you go. I can sit in that. Perfect. Oh, yeah. I'm kind of skilled at that. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna talk about. I'll text you. Okay. I don't, I think somebody's on there. Oh.
Oh, so Melissa Conway, she's
I was about to say,
one-
cause we can see it on the screen.
she said did real estate in Kentucky for 5 years, just recently got my license.
I'm so sorry, Zoom people. Melissa Conway did real estate in Kentucky for 5 years, just recently got her license in Florida, and you're trying to grow your business. I love meeting new people. You guys are gonna love this class. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and how I got into attraction marketing and how I still prospect even though I have attraction marketing. So we want to make sure we preface a lot of this by saying that. So I created this because I noticed that when people get into real estate, I do a lot of coaching and I coach a lot of people that have different personalities. I coach people that are introverts that don't want to talk to people at all. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're in real estate. Like, literally do not want to talk to people. Like, get nervous, highs, cannot stand up in front of people, do not want to present, do not want to go. I'm like, why are you here? Right? However, they're here. And as their coach, I was a PC coach in New Tampa for 2 years. I still had to get them into production. I don't have time to say, okay, well, you don't like to talk to people, so you can't get to do real estate. Here it is. Necessity is the mother of invention. You figure out a way to do something, right? If you have to get it done, you will figure out a way to get it done. If you don't figure out a way to get it done, it wasn't that important. So how we started getting into attraction marketing is because these people didn't want to pick up the phone, but they still had to get in the conversation with people. So we started texting plans. Then we started emailing plans. Then we started social media marketing campaigns, which are different from just posting on social media. All of that led to them actually being able to close 6 deals in a month without ever talking to anybody, without ever doing a listing presentation, right? Because and we're gonna talk about this, but what I think somebody's trying to get into, what the funnels do is they allow people to come into your space willingly and you nurture them passively until they raise their hand and say, I'm ready. It has to be partnered with a regular lead generation strategy. It's not what I'm talking about, and we'll go into this, is not just saying, go to social media and forget about everything else. It's an integrated marketing plan where you have traditional and non-traditional ways of marketing and prospecting. So we're gonna get into all that. One more thing, we had 2 new people come in the room. I do want to just get introductions really quick, just your name, how long you've been in real estate, and why did you get in real estate, if you don't mind, really quick.
Carlo Thompson, I had my license for 3 years.
3, okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah. 3 years, 3 years.
And what made you get into real estate?
Well, I was already in sales. I was with Sharon, well, I'm still with Sharon Williams for like 17 years.
Okay.
So I was a sales manager, things like that. So I was meeting a lot of people in the real estate industry.
Anywhere,
And I
right.
was doing investment with my uncle already. So I originally got my license to do my own properties.
And then now,
It just transitioned to the, me liking being a realtor because I can help more people. But I got into real estate to just change my family projection.
I know that's right,
Not
and
the part first year.
and that's what we're gonna do, and I love that. Name, how long you've been licensed, and why you got into real estate.
My name is Benjamin Reza. I've been an agent for 1 year. Well, May 8th will be 1 year.
Oh, congrats!
Thank you.
Yay!
And I got into real estate because, similar to Carlo, I was already in sales.
Mm-hmm.
I got my first taste of it when I was working at West Shore Honda selling cars. That was, to me, the best job I ever had. I like talking to people, showing them something that they like,
Right.
and being able to help them take it home with them. So I bounced around for a while, and then I finally got fed up, and I was like, I want to taste the sales again. I like selling things to people, so I decided to take it up a notch and get into real estate, try my hand there, and I love it, and I'm not ever gonna go back.
Good.
So,
I agree. Let me
Not
tell you,
never.
life hack, all the people that are successful and rich are in some kind of sales, period, point blank. That's how you make money. Everything else supports that. However, the driver of that is sales. And when I say houses, if houses didn't get sold, we wouldn't have mortgage officers, we wouldn't have tax officers, we wouldn't have loan officers, we wouldn't have transaction coordinators, we wouldn't have people, appraiser, we wouldn't need any of that. So believe it or not, the mortgage industry actually supports a lot of America's economic systems, and a lot of people don't realize that, and it's important to know that. This one? Or much should it be?
Yeah, no.
Or is it all? Just like tap it.
Oh, there we go, try that.
Okay, good, let me see. Yep, it's on. I don't know. If you just go to the next slide. No.
Right, do the next slide. then.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we get started, please, everybody take this QR code. You're gonna want it. If you wanna get a replay of this, and will you send me the replay of this?
Sure.
Okay, please send it to me. Okay, if you guys wanna get a replay of this, please, fill this out, but there's also going to be a freebie as well. So make sure you put that code, because when we email it back, we'll email you back with the freebie that I'll be talking about. There is also an email list. If you want to join the email list, I do send emails out twice a day. And I'm sorry, once a day, sometimes twice a day. The reason why I send that is because the same attraction marketing stuff that I teach you, you're going to be able to see what it looks like if you get on my email list, because you'll be able to see the funnels that I create and how I work with that. Did everybody get this? Because my marketing director said, when you go places, people always email for the playback, and you never have them just download the code so they could already get it automatically. So wanted to make sure we did that today. Everybody all good there? All right.
See if it worked. It didn't work.
Oh, let me see, hold on. Yep, there we go. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I am a wife, a mom, a serial entrepreneur. I own 8 businesses. I'm getting ready to sell my title company, so I will be down to 7. However, I am starting another business very soon. I believe that you should have 8 businesses. Somebody asked me why. Why? Somebody pull up their phone.
Oh,
So, somebody pull up Ecclesiastes
Okay,
11
I
and 2.
added that for when you leave Cheesette Cowan's work.
Ecclesiastes 11 and 2. Pull that up and tell me what it says. If you can't spell it, just go ECCLE and it'll do the rest. What will we do without Google? You got it? Read it, what it says.
But I don't have,
Okay.
you said 11 verse 2?
Uh-huh.
I was,
What you got?
It says, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do.
What translation is that?
This is a NIV.
Read it out of the King James.
11 and 2,
Yeah, it's the scripture, but it's.
give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth.
Okay, so my business is based on spiritual principles. I believe that real estate is a funding source, and whatever other businesses you have in you, real estate should fund. However, they should come together. You should not be a real estate agent and a hairdresser. Not that you can't. I know I've plenty of friends that are real estate agents and hairdressers. However, they're so far connected, right? My companies all feed into real estate. So I have a title company, I have a mortgage company, I have a moving company, I have a transaction management company, I sell leads, so I have a lead management company, I have a coaching company, my real estate business, and I have an investment company. All of these make money in the same way. When I have a buyer, I get paid on title, I get paid on mortgage, they use my moving truck, I get paid for the transaction coordinator that manages it. And I get to, at the end of the day, a lot of times, if I'm selling the lead, I get to get the lead money as well. So what I'm saying is, I'm not doing anything different. I'm only doing business. And why I'm telling you this is off my subject. In real estate, you have to follow where the money goes, because that's where you can determine where your business is gonna go. And when I say follow where the money goes, when you say hello to a buyer, determine who gets paid from now to the end of that transaction. I try to get my husband to start an inspection company. I was like, listen, if you start an inspection company, we would have to game online, like everything that they, but here's why I did it. It wasn't just for the business's sake. It was because I wanted to control the customer experience. The customer experience is your biggest opportunity to get business. When I say the customer experience, I want to control the lender. I don't want to send them to a lender that's at USAA that I can't talk to, that I have no relationship with, that I don't know if they're going to close. I want to control the title experience. I want to tell them how to talk to my client. I want to train them to use the same language that I have. So it really started out as just perfecting a customer experience, and then they turned into other things. So I'm a team leader. I have 5 teams. One of them we're getting ready to sell as well. I believe businesses are like real estate. They're profitable, you sell them. You create them and you sell them. If you guys don't know anything about my OP, his name is Chris McLaughlin. He's an attorney. He got out of law school at George Washington University. He went to school with Bill Clinton, and he decided not to practice law. He started up a .com company where they were just selling newsletters. How about in 2 years, he sold it for $7 million. He bought 5 Keller Williams with that. So I'm saying that think of your business as a funding source, because now he's into real estate. However, that company that he started helped him get there. So I'm also a travel enthusiast. I travel a lot, like a lot. I'm going on a trip. June 20th, we leave, and I don't come back until July 15th. I'm going to London, Turkey, Greece, Singapore, and Bali, and it is going to be the best time of my life. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but I will have a good time. So I like to travel. I also reject the one-size-fit-all approach when it comes to specifically minority agents, and minority doesn't just mean Black. Any underserved or marginalized population. And I'm gonna tell you, for me in real estate, a lot of it is moms, right? Because I feel like moms, when moms get into real estate, it's kind of like, oh, I hate to hear, I'm just a mom. Like, do you understand how much business skills you got as a mom? Like, you're a walking CEO and you don't realize it. You manage calendars, you manage behavior, you coach, you train, you teach, you hire, you fire. Like, you're running a whole business, but you just don't see it like that. So when I say I reject the one-size-fit-all approach, I believe that if you look deep enough into your life, there's magic there. But we don't get to see it a lot of times because we're looking at other people. We're looking at how they're successful, what they're doing, instead of looking at the magic that is us. So I believe that if we go deeper on a day-to-day basis to the things that agents actually do, and we put business strategies around that, you don't have to, if you don't want to cold call, don't freaking cold call. I just don't understand it. Do you need to know how to cold call? Absolutely. Should you do it? Yes, until you are able to replace that activity with something else that allows you to generate business and make money. But don't let that be your long-term plan, right? I cold call still to this day. Do you know why? Because I think it's a good skill for every agent to have. Anybody in sales, I need to be able to pick up the phone and convert people on the phone into customers. I'm always going to know how to do that. However, when you have a system or something around what you love to do, then you can highlight who you are and actually have fun doing it. Another one, my number one source of business is referrals. But my referral system is not like everybody else's referral system. My referral system, do you know, it's 2024. So in 2020 is when I really started like buying leads and doing different things like that. I said, I'm gonna try this out. I had $10,000 in my budget. I said, I'm not gonna buy leads. I'm gonna dump this money into my database. Everybody in my database, I strategically connected with people, took them out to eat, did different things with them, spent time with them, doing stuff that I love to do. I love wine. We went to wineries, we hung out. I got to know them as people, all of those people, and it was 83 or 84 of them, all of them gave me referrals. One of them, I got 17 referrals for. I give her $500 every Christmas, every Christmas. The first time I gave it to her, and here's the thing, she'll never buy a house with me. She's never bought a house with me. She doesn't have the credit, and she doesn't have the money. She probably won't ever. But guess what she got? A job. And every single coworker, like, she'd be like, they just started, they live in an apartment building. You want their phone number? I'm like, yeah. Man, do you understand why she get $500 at Christmas? Like, she is a lead source for me. So what I'm saying is, why am I giving my money to Zillow when I have somebody that has proven that they care about my business, want to help me grow? I invest in her. I take her out to eat every quarter. We go out to eat on her birthday. You wouldn't be able to tell that lady that we're not friends. And we are friends, right? But I'm just saying that I connect with people like that. Why? Because that's organic to me. That's what I like to do. I can do that and not get tired at the end of the night. I can do that and still have fun. I can do that and not be spent at the end of the day. I cold call all day. I'm tired. I'm exhausted at 5 o'clock, right? I want to go home and I don't want nobody to talk to me. My kids don't get on my nerves. Like, stop. And I started to say, how can I start to, I don't want to make a lot of money, because when we did that the second year, we went from 50 transactions to 150 transactions. Now I'm busy all the time and I'm making money, but I'm not happy. And it wasn't that I was unhappy. It just was that, it just was like, it's just too hard. And I don't want to, I want to make money, but I don't want it to feel hard all the time. I get it, it has to feel hard probably in the beginning, maybe for the first 2 to 3 years, maybe even 3 to 5 years. But when we get past 5 and it's still hard, something is wrong, right? Okay. So now, when we get into prospecting and marketing, before I get into what I'm going to teach you, I want to teach you what is the difference. Prospecting and marketing are distinct, but they're interconnected strategies. I don't think you should be prospecting without marketing. I don't think you should be marketing without prospecting. I just want to be very clear because I go a lot of places and they're like, good. She said I don't have to lead generate. I don't have to cold call. I never said that. I won't say that because I know that, and we'll talk about this, that prospecting on the phone, in front of people, like meeting with people on a one-to-one basis, you're going to get an immediate conversion there. So I'm never going to tell you to give up immediate money to go get long-term money. However, you have to get long-term money while you're making immediate money. This is the equivalent of it. Everybody in here that has kids, it's like paying for your kids every day, the things they need, the food, the school clothes, etc. And then it's putting up money for college, right? Both are important, right? Imagine you going through your whole kid's life and you're giving them everything that they want, you're there, but then they get ready to go to college and you have nothing, right? But imagine you give them nothing and you don't take care of them, and then when they're ready to go to college, you're like, you know what, I got $1 million for you, go to any college you want, who cares? You weren't here for me the whole time. And then if you were here for me the whole time, you didn't plan for my future. So I feel like this is an opportunity to mix both. So prospecting involves proactive outreach to clients through personalized communication, one form of communication typically. However, while marketing utilizes various channels to promote services to a broader audience. So the difference between prospecting and marketing is one is narrow, one is broad. So you have to think about the prospecting one is like a cup. The marketing one is like an ocean. You have access to way more people. This is why you have to have prospecting and marketing. I only know a certain amount of people. So I can fill up a cup. I can't fill up an ocean, but I'd like to try. I'd like to go connect with everybody in the sea and see if we can be friends. So prospecting allows for targeted engagement with specific demographics while marketing casts a wider net for visibility. I want to preface this by saying, and I'm working on a podcast that we're releasing in June, and we were recording yesterday, and something came up, and I said, that's really it. The guy that I was talking to said, I've never sold anything a day in my life. He said, I have conversations with people, I find out what they need, and then I help them get it. Isn't that cool? Doesn't that sound better than selling people? He said, I have conversations with people. I find out what they need, and then I help them get it. And I'm like, that's my new tagline. That's it. Like when somebody says, what kind of realtor are you? I talk to people, I find out what they need, and I help them get it. That's it. Like very short, sweet, to the point. I'm telling you that because prospecting and marketing are about getting people what they want. The only difference is how they come to you. Real estate fundamentally is about getting people into homes, out of homes, into investments, out of investments, getting them whatever they want. It's just how do they come to you? All right. So a lead. Does anybody know the difference between a lead and a prospect?
A lead is somebody you had conversations with about real estate.
Mm-hmm. Prospect?
Prospect is potential,
Mm-hmm.
but late.
It's actually reversed.
Really?
So a lead is somebody that just raised their hand. A Zillow lead, they click. They're a lead. You don't know them, right? So a lead is a person or entity who has shown some level of interest in real estate or properties. The interest can be demonstrated through actions such as visiting a website, attending an open house, filling out a contact form. However, leads may not be fully qualified or ready to make a transaction. You don't know. They just came to you. So a lead is basically now I'm going to start down this path. It's leading me down the path, right? A prospect is a lead who's been a little further qualified. So they've been vetted a little bit. They've shown a higher level of interest and engagement. They may have provided some detailed information like their name, phone number, preferences, allowing real estate agents to tailor their approach to a targeted assistant. So what happens with prospecting and leads, prospecting and leads are leads, you don't know what they want or you don't know what they need. Prospecting, you've talked to them enough to find out what they want and need. Does that make sense? So you can actually serve these people. You can't serve these people because you don't know what they want or need first. You have their information, and now that's an opportunity for you to follow up with them and find out, okay, how can I help you? This is why consultations are important. But what attraction marketing does is you start to speak to their pain points in advance and they respond to you based on what they need. Does that make sense? So how many of you guys have ever given your email to get a free product? Like, I was on Instagram the other day and she was like, well, comment DM if you want like a DM strategy. I commented DM and then she sent me an email funnel thing. I put my email in and then 10 minutes later I got her DM funnel in my email box. Anybody ever did anything like that? Okay. So what does that tell her about me? What- that I'm interested in DM marketing, that I want what she has. So what I'm saying is, isn't that different from a prospect? When I'm calling somebody, what do I know about them? Not a dang thing. That's what makes it hard because in my mind now, I'm making space for, well, what does she want? Well, when does she need it? Well, let me ask her, what question should I ask? So now my mind is starting to use energy. And I don't know about you, but I swear I try to do everything I can to work on autopilot. Like your brain will work against you if you don't let it like rest. And when I say your brain will work against you, just think about a car. If you buy a car today, you never turn it off. Like you let it, you just drive it for 5 years straight and you just never turn it off. The car can't sustain that. It has to have times of rest. I feel like in our business, most of the time, the work that we're doing is up here and we never actually get it out because we're so bogged down with all the steps in our mind. I had to get out of the way of that and make it a little bit easier. So, all right. So now we're going to give an overview of attraction marketing before we get into some aspect of it. So attraction marketing is long-term. Very clear, long term, right? So think college fund. Strategy focused on building a sustainable business by consistently, so in attraction marketing, you're going to consistently provide value up front. I was thinking a weird thing. You know you're from the hood, right? Who ain't here from New York? Yeah, I was like, you know how they used to front you stuff? Like, that's what I'm saying, that's a hood term.
Hey, they do that here too.
Wrong audience. But like, you're giving it to them up front. See, what happens in like prospecting when you're calling, you're asking them what they need so you can figure out how you can add value. I can't systematize that. Only thing I can do is systematize my script and my framing so that I can have a good conversation, but I can't systematize it. If I provide valuable content up front and I'm creating that content with people in mind, I'm creating information and solutions with people in mind, I'm creating stuff with the intention of nurturing relationships. When those people come to me, we're already connected because they're only going to reach out to me if they feel like I can help them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now I don't have to sell these people. This is what I tell people. I'm like, I get at least, no lie, 15 referrals a week. No lie, without even trying. That ain't me actually going out, putting out funnels and different things. That's just me having communication with realtors, right? And when I say communication with realtors, I create products for realtors. So realtors are my clients, right? And the reason for that is I don't want to sell somebody and say, hey, I'm this coach, I can do this and that. I don't want to sell you. I want you to just see what I offer for you to decide if I have what you believe that you need to take your career to the next level. Very different strategy. So also, real estate professionals can generate a steady stream of income and qualify leads over time. What this does is it allows you to get more people into your know, like, and trust circle. See, there's a lady that she does like email funnels, and she has a list of about 500 people, and she makes over $1 million a year with those 500 people. You would think she has to have an expensive list. You don't. How many deals do you want to close this year? 10. Okay, 10. If you build an email funnel and you have 500 people on your email list, there's no reason that 10 of them can't convert into clients. You have higher numbers. How hard is it going to be for you to go out and talk to 500 people? I don't know about you, but I can't talk to 500 people. It would take me at least 3 months to talk to 500 people, right? However, when you're building an email list, and people start forwarding emails, you're putting great content in where people actually want to be on your email list, then you now have the ability to remember the C. There's a cup and then there's a C. You're going to work in the cup, but we want to make sure that the C has as much opportunity as it possibly can. So then now, how does attraction marketing differ from traditional marketing or lead gen? Traditional outbound marketing interrupts potential clients with ads and promos, while attraction marketing focuses on building relationship, trust, and authority. How many of you get cold calls? I cold call and I hate cold calls. I try to be like graceful when people call me because I'm like, you got a so good seat. I hate it. And I think that's why people don't like cold calling. Because deep down inside, you know you hate them. So that, but let me tell you why I hate them. Because I'm relationship driven. I don't know you. I'm not gonna, very rarely, I mean, I guess that anything's possible. Like I'll have times where I buy stuff from people that call. However, most of the time, I'm always looking for somebody that I already know that does it. I'm a relationship driven person. And if I don't know somebody that does it, I know you and you know somebody that does it. I'm going to take recommendations from my friend. However, when you have attraction marketing, they're already getting to know you. They're not going to go ask anybody else because when it comes up, you're going to be top of mind with them. How many of you guys have anything that helps you stay top of mind with clients? Okay. Do you, when you say social media, how are you using it?
The regular way, just family stuff, like I'll post something about my kids.
Do you gather their information?
Call me.
No, like something where they can gather your information. That way you can gather their information. For example, like, let's just say, like, for
Capture kind of thing?
yeah, like a lead magnet. And we're gonna talk about those too. Okay,
Not
so
formally, like I don't think much about it now.
so if I know you, I mean, so if I come across your content, how will I know how to get in touch with you?
My phone number's on there, my website.
It's on your profile. But if I look at a post, how will I know how to get in touch with you?
You gotta exit the post and go to my profile.
Then that's work though.
They do it.
No, they're doing it.
Yeah.
But how many people are stopping at the next level? Because people are, I hope y'all realize where we are in life. Like in life, like literally my kids are to the point where they'll go to sleep before they get up and go get water. She's like, I'm thirsty. I'm like, go get some water. She's like, I'm just gonna go to bed. The refrigerator is like 10 steps from you. Okay, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm like, okay, that's where we are. And my kids are the little ones, they're young, but I'm just saying they give you a lot of insight into how people think, human behavior. The reason why I said traditional outbound marketing is an interruption is because at the end of the day, we're all busy. So even if I intend to click on yours, I'll be like, wait 1 second, my phone rings, right? It's easy, especially with Instagram. You grab that form and it'll let them whatever information is in their profile. They don't even got to enter it. Instagram got it where you can just say, put your profile information in, yes, and boom, they gone. They already in your funnel and they on to the next thing. You have about 90 seconds to convert people on social media, unfortunately. However, the good thing is with the attraction marketing, our goal is to get them into our world. We want a home field advantage, if you will, right? So when you start talking about building trust and relationship, this does that organically. Because when you start to really connect with people, they know what kind of person you are. If you're strategic with how you do it, posts and videos and lives, and they start to hear your voice and they know your cadence and they know, okay, she's this type of person. They really start to build a know, like, and trust factor. I judge how I'm doing on social media by how people feel like they know me. I know that's probably the weirdest thing. If I meet somebody and they don't know something about me, but we follow each other on social media, then I'm not doing a good job. Right? Like, any of you guys follow me on social media? No? Okay, so you guys don't know me. But the people that I actually know you should know something about. And when I say something about me, like the quirky stuff. Like, I married my husband on our third date. So the third day I saw him was our wedding day. Most of the people, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, my mother was like, I mean, his mother was like, is she trying to stay in the country? Like, we're just trying to figure out why you gotta get married. I don't know, it just happened. Hey, but we're going into our 13th year, so clearly it's all right. But literally met him at a McDonald's. We went to a restaurant, and then at the restaurant, we were like, we should just get married. And he said, yeah, okay, cool. And about 20 days later, we got married. Right, so, yeah, well, here's the thing. These are things that people that are on my, like, that I interact with, they know these things. I specifically share these things because I want you to see me as more than a business person. I have 5 daughters. There are people that know that we have no boys.
I have 4 boys.
Yeah, I know, listen, I wanted a boy so bad, like so bad. And then I'm like, okay, I guess that's just not in the cards for us, right? But people that know me know that, right? Because and even if they don't know me, when they're on my email list, I share stuff like that. Why? Because I want you to know intimate details about me. Of course, when I say intimate details, I'm not saying no, not your gaudy details. Like I don't need to know, like, oh, me and my husband don't get on. I don't need to know that kind of stuff. But anything that would increase the intimacy between you and somebody that's on the other side of a phone screen, right? And you gotta understand, just taking it back to fundamentally who we are as people. How do you think people, you probably seen this before. Do you know people used to date like on chat lines and stuff like that and fall like in love? Like prison, pay pen pals, like prison. They actually fall in love just from conversation. So we actually just hired a content writer to rework all of our writing so we can write and speak more intimately to people, right? Because that's how much time and investment I'm putting into it. Why? Because it's long-term and it's passive. It's not the only thing I do for lead generation. It's just part of it. However, when your content converts, when people start to read your content and they can hear their own voice. So like our content went from whatever it was to it's short, medium. So one sentence, and then 3 to 4 sentences. And in those 1, 2, 3 sentences, we're typically going to be asking questions. Did you? How would you feel if? Would you like to? Right? The emotional stuff. And then we're hitting them with the facts relative to 1, 2, and 3. Right? And the reason for that is because based on the market research for our population, that's what they need in order to process information. Small chunks of information that is introspective, narrative, and then the actual information. But that is something that is the evolution of an attraction marketing plan. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But traditional lead generation methods may yield immediate results, but they often require an ongoing investment in advertising and promotions to maintain momentum. Here's my problem with traditional lead gen. I don't know about y'all, but do y'all get up every day and feel like working? Everybody get up every day and be like, you know what? I'm ready to knock this day out. Like, let's go. I only get up twice a month like that. I'm not even joking. The other days, it's kind of like whatever, but I still gotta work. I can't show up and be my best self on the phone if I'm not feeling it. And that's not to say I'm rude by my emotions. However, as I get older, I'm having more of these days where I'm not feeling like it than I'm having the days where I do feel like it, right? I also have kids, 5 of them. They always got like weird stuff going on. Somebody's always sick. I mean, it's just always, when you got kids, it's just always something. I'm not even joking. So what happens to my business if I go into that stage? I like to travel. I go out of town every month, every year for the month of July. I wouldn't be able to do that if my whole business was predicated on me simply lead generating. So I decided, I said, okay, how do we spend this? Right now, we're 100% prospecting. Every month for 2 years, we're going to take it down 5 points. So we're going to be 100% prospecting, then we're going to do 5% marketing. Then we're going to do 90 and 10, 85 and 15. And we're going to get this all the way till we can get it fully over here. And then we can start to pull back. Because if you guys know anything about it, and I don't see it in this room, but I see them at a lot of Keller Williams, it's the 7th level team. Have you ever heard of that? So the 7th level team is you outside of the business, not working in the business. I don't understand why real estate is the only business that people start and they think they have to work it. If you were opening a grocery store, you would be like, I gotta hire a cashier, I gotta hire a butcher, I gotta hire a baker, I gotta hire somebody to run the door, I gotta hire customer service, wouldn't you? Why in real estate do we feel like we need to do everything? What business model is that? It doesn't work like that. And the person that like Sam Walton, he started Walmart. Do you think he ever started because he wanted to work in the store? It just was a profitable business model. That's why Ben Kinney was able to. You guys know Ben Kinney? Okay, look him up. Okay, so he is the first realtor to take his agent-owned business, not his real estate brokerage, his individual agent-owned business, and get $100 million of funding from Goldman Sachs and take his agent-owned business public IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, the thing about Ben Kinney is he is a systems guru. Everything is a system with him. All he did was create a system, and now he got it to where his company does So they essentially are like a market center on virtual. So they come into your business, especially businesses that were struggling with COVID. The MCA functions, transaction management, it's all virtual. They handle it all. So essentially, if your business is struggling for half of what you were paying in salaries, X, Y, Z, you can hire them, get on place. They manage all your back end stuff. It's a win-win. He got something like 100,000 clients on that. Boom. They like, okay, we see the potential. We're going to invest. We're going. And I'm saying that that is a system that he built. That's a long-term thing. He still had to be selling every day. So it's always going to be this thing where you're working in the business, but you're working your way out of the business. Does that make sense? Okay. So when we talk about attraction marketing, I always believe that if something happens to me, I'll become accustomed to the lifestyle that I live. I can't. We had an agent in our office, he had a stroke. That's when it really got real for me. Because he was an agent that when I was coming in, I looked up to him. And he had like $1 million business. But guess what happened when he had a stroke? Everything. Everything. How many of us have seen that? We're one life decision, one life incident away from the biggest change in our life, but then our business is not set up to do that. See, when you have funnels and marketing in place, when the leads come in, somebody else can work them. You just have to have the systems in place. So the focus may be more on the short-term gains rather than long-term sustainability. So with traditional lead marketing, lead generation, you're getting on the phone, you're expected to make a call, a sale, appointment today. See, when I set up these funnels, I'm setting them up. I don't expect to see anything for a year. I'm okay with that. Because here's the thing, once it goes, it's on autopilot. I expect to spend at least a year building it. And I have what's called a base system. So it's build, assess, strategize, and execute. I'm going to build it. I'm going to assess the effectiveness of it. I'm going to test it. I'm going to strategize on how to make it better. And then I'm going to execute it. That takes time. That's why I have to have certain amount of my time has to be dedicated to active lead gen, because the time that I'm taking to do that is my marketing time. So if my day is split in half and I spend 2 hours on traditional lead gen and 2 hours on marketing on long-term lead gen, I still have the end of the day where I got to work the actual business, right? So now, one of the reasons that I started the team is because when we started marketing, we started getting so many leads. I don't work with buyers. I don't like to show houses. I don't show houses. Very rarely do I actually go to houses. Let's just get that off the ground. I'm probably the only realtor that you know that hates selling houses. Like, I don't like it. And I sell a lot of them. However, I have systems around it. I show an assistant. I don't go to inspections. I don't go to closing. So most of my work is at the computer, managing the contract, managing the transaction, managing the players that I set in place. Because I can't take time away from what I'm trying to build to do things that I hire other people to do. That's part of my system. I don't understand why people go to inspection. If your client wants to go, I'll meet you there the last half an hour, but I'm not spending 4 hours of my time at your inspection when we're paying an inspector to be there who actually knows about houses. I don't know anything about houses. I can't tell you why the plug is there. I don't know anything about your roof. That's not my area of expertise. I'm also not a title lead. I'm also not a lender. I don't answer people's questions around lending. If they say, hey, I want to know how much my down payment, hold on, let me get your lender number. Because I don't know. And I very specialized in staying in my lane. I'm gonna just give you guys a rabbit hole for a minute. How many of you guys like football? Okay, so I'm a New England Patriots fan, right? Okay, yeah. So I am a Patriots fan, and I am a Patriots fan, and let me tell you why I love the Patriots. Because they had system. Like, I was just enamored with the system. I'm like, everything they put through the system works. Now the system is broken now. They got to do something different. But Bill Belichick was that person. And I used to get so mad when people say, well, Tom Brady can't run. I'm like, do you know what the quarterback's job is? Oh, well, Michael Vick used to run and Cam Newton used to win, and that's why they retired without being great. The quarterback's job is to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. He needs to have a good arm. And here's the thing, greatness requires subtraction. You cannot be great at a whole bunch of things. You can only be great at a few things. If you're going to be great, you have to subtract everything that's a distraction and focus on 1 or 2 things. People that are great only have 1 or 2 things, but they're so locked into it that they get great at it because there's nothing else distracting them from it, nothing else taking their energy. Michael Jordan is a person that I look at like that. He focused on playing basketball, yet they came to him and said, hey, we want to put your name, your likeness, your image on the shoe. And then he becomes the most richest athlete ever with the Jordan deal. still making billions and billions of dollars off it, but he never focused on starting a business. He only focused on playing basketball and getting really good at it. Same thing with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is great because he didn't focus on, he can't run. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, please, dude, just go ahead and go to the ground. Like it's embarrassing to watch him run. But guess what? And people used to say, well, why doesn't he practice that? Because if you're a 3 at something, the most you're going to be is a 5. I mean, if you put like 100 hours, 200, you probably get to a 5. 5 is still average. I'm not paying you for average. But if you're a 7 in something, and you put 200-300 hours into being better, you could probably get to a 9. 9 is very close to 10. People will pay for that. So now we want to make sure that as we're building long-term business, we're doing short-term stuff, but having to understand that we are building a business. I'm not just trying to make sales. I'm trying to set my business up where I'm still getting leads 3, 5, 6, 7 years from now, right? I have people in my database where I am, I've sold to 3 generations already. And when I say 3 generations already, like grandma passed, so we sold granddad's house, got him a new house. Daughter got a new house. Daughter's son go to college, she got a condo. Other son go to college, she got a condo. So what I'm saying is I'm training them now. So that's another system that I have. We have a generational system. So when people come into our database, if they got kids that are over 15, they get tagged different because their kids getting ready to go to college. We are preparing them. They are on a funnel. The funnel tells them how to prepare for their kids going to college. Don't send your kids to college and pay room and board. That's going to cost you $15,000-$20,000 a year. I can show you how to put that money into a mortgage and have the clients, have your child's friends come in and be roommates and pay for the mortgage. They don't know that. My funnel is designed to teach them that because they have a need that they don't even know they have. Does that make sense? And this is what I'm saying about thinking long term. Even though they just closed, I'm already setting myself up if that son is 15 for a transaction at 18, 19 years old. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, did somebody on Zoom have a question? We can stop and answer questions. I'm sorry. I get to talking, so you guys can stop if you have any questions. Do you guys have any questions? Because I'll get to talking and forget.
That was a really good idea.
Oh,
Set the kids up when they go to college, not for room and board, put it on the mortgage, have the roommates paid off.
yeah. And then you just start a 20 sequence email about how it works, why it's important. Give them examples. Throw in articles from GTAR. Throw in articles from NAR. Give them a sequence where they can start to see so that when that son get ready to go to college, and don't make it where it come every month. Make it come every 3 months, especially if they got 4 years, right? Don't bother them more than you need to. But when you start to do that, now I'm inserting myself into your life in the future. Like you understand? I tell my clients, I'm like, once we locked in, like it'll be pretty hard for you to get out of here.
So you were talking about using your content to speak very personally to your, your audience. Will we see like examples of those? Will we see examples
Yes.
of your content?
Yep, I'm gonna bring you to that.
Yeah, no one has any questions.
Okay, good.
I have a question.
Okay,
When you
yeah.
first started real estate, did you go like all in or did you do, cause sometimes some people have
Oh, I
part-time.
didn't tell you this. Let me tell you how I got into real estate. I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield. I was doing insurance sales. I moved here from Atlanta. I didn't know anybody here. I found out I was pregnant after I moved here. I would have never left Atlanta had I known I was having another kid because my support system was in Atlanta. Yet we were here. I also got a promotion at my job managing a team in California, 100 agents. The worst thing possible. I was excited because I was making $80,000 a year and I went from 80 to 150. Bring it on. However, the responsibility of that job drove me nuts. And I was like, I'm quitting. Years later, I figure out it wasn't the job. I had postpartum depression. I didn't realize that in that moment, right? I just thought it was the job because I'm not going to say it's my baby, right? Because you just don't think like that. But going back later and doing some studies on it, I realized that that's what was going on at the moment. So when I was like, okay, this is just too much. I just can't do it. I'm stressed. My husband was like, well, I'm thinking about getting into real estate. He was like, maybe you could help me with it. I said, I can. So I quit the job and I was like, I'll just go get the license. I'll go and learn. I'll help you set up the business because I've always loved business. I've always had businesses. I have a publishing company. Always had businesses. So I got the license, 2 weeks. In 3 weeks, I was signed on with Keller Williams. So 3 weeks later, I finished Ignite. And I tell my husband, I got everything set up. He's like, yeah, I decided I don't want to do that anymore. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go be a home inspector, which he didn't do that either. Anyway, so I'm like, but I already paid like $1,000 to join like GTAR MLS. I'm here at this brokerage. I'm paying a monthly fee. Like, what? And then I was like, well, now I don't have a job. So, I mean, I might as well do it, right? That's how I got to do it. I didn't have anything else to do because I had quit the job at this point. I had no other income. And it would have just took too long for me to figure something else out. So I just did that. And I started in July. I didn't close my first deal till April. I closed 4 in that month and I joined the team. I already had the 4 deals before I joined the team. I personally believe in teams. I think if I could do this all over again at day 1, I would have joined the team. Because I feel like if somebody is going to teach you how to run a business, I don't want to go out here and learn it myself. If you're a team leader, most team leaders have just built their businesses based off the success of their own businesses. So just show me what to do. I don't want to figure it out. I am never going to figure things out on my own because I believe if you've done it and you're going to tell me how to do it, I'll just do what you tell me to do. Because I don't like to spend a lot of energy. And let me tell you this about your brain. So your brain is set up to where your brain will work against you. Like your brain only has a limited capacity of energy. And this is why, if you ever notice, and I'm probably a weirdo because I studied the brain because I'm interested in how it aids us in being successful. Because it can work for or against us. You guys know that, your mind. So what I learned about your brain is that your brain, the reason why systems are so good for your business, because systems help your brain organize things and then it leaves space and room for growth. People that are unorganized, it's hard for them to grow because your brain is always looking for autopilot. Just put it like that. How many of you live close to here? Within 10 miles? Okay. Who's been here the longest you? How long have you been here?
2020.
Okay. Can you go from here to home without even thinking? Like you could be on the phone, you could be eating, doing your makeup, because you've done it 1,000 times, right? It's your subconscious. Believe it or not, your conscious mind is where it's the goal setter. It says, we want to do this. Your subconscious mind is the goal getter. That's the thing that's really going to go after it. Most of the time, our conscious and our subconscious mind are out of alignment, right? We say we want to be millionaire real estate agents, but our subconscious is like, yeah, we ain't doing that. So your brain is like, here's my GPS, here's my 411, here's my economic model for 2024, and it says we're gonna sell 100 houses, and your brain is like, nope, we ain't doing that. So even though it's consciously here, and you know you're going after that, the subconscious is really the go-getter. So what happens is you have to break it. Your brain gets overwhelmed, and when I say your brain gets overwhelmed, just think about dumping a lot of information to your brain. So if you say to your brain, if you break your numbers down to the degree where you say, in order to sell 100 houses, I need to talk to 20 people a day and I need to execute 1 contract a week, your brain can manage that. It can get behind that because 20 calls, boom, I can do that. See, we have to break our goals all the way down to where our brain can accept. It's almost like you have to trick yourself into moving forward. And the reason for that is, believe it or not, your brain is wired to protect you. Do you realize that if it didn't do that, we'd all have anxiety? We'd all be anxious mess. We'd all be worried about everything. We'd all be considering everything. Your brain has the ability to push things out of your mind so that you don't worry. And a lot of times it's to protect you. It's like a car. It will overheat and just shut off and work against you. So this is what I tell agents. I don't ever want to hear you say I want to sell 100 houses a year. Don't ever say that. Tell me how many people you need to talk to every day, how many conversations you need to have, how many contracts you need to write, and then that's what we focus on. Because it's like the domino in Gary Keller's One Thing book. If I hit the first domino, all it's going to do is just trickle down and knock down every other domino. But what happens is when we're way down here, our brain knows that all this stuff is before and it's afraid of all of this stuff. But when we start here, our brain is curious, so it'll go into this way curious. If it comes here, remember, it's in the past, so it's being really kind of haunted, right? Because even if I wanted to get to a closing, everything before that closing technically is the past if I'm at that closing. So for me, I just was like, okay, I got to figure out how to break this thing down very small. So my numbers are 20 a day. I can talk 10 a day, but 20 is a stretch and 10 is where I need to be because my conversions are where they need to be. right? Conversions are super important as well, because we don't talk enough about that. Conversion is a matter of skill set, not a matter of activity. A lot of people say I'm lead generating. I'm like, based on like how are you lead generating? Well, I'm just making calls. How many calls have you made? How many people have you talked to? How many appointments have you got? Well, I didn't track that. You need to track that, because that's what's going to help you get out of this active side a lot quicker. And when I say active side a lot quicker, and we have time before we leave, remind me to talk about the real estate quadrant. But when I say get out of the active side a lot quicker, what happens is when you start to focus on conversion more than anything, and you have to do it by tracking, you start to know your numbers, and then you start to, most people don't need to make more calls, they need to make better calls. Does that make sense? See, when you know how to do something and you do it better, it takes less time. So like if you start doing, let's just say you start doing hair, you start braiding, you're not gonna be the same braider today as you are 5 years from now. 5 years from now, you'll be able to knock it out, and it's like, just like second nature, because what happens when you get to that point, your brain can shut down and it can just do. If it has to be engaged for too long, it gets tired. It's like a car, it overheats, it will shut down. When it shuts down, typically it's gonna shut down on the things that you wanted to accomplish, because those things are not important. They're not necessities, they're niceties. It'd be nice to have $1 million. You don't have to have $1 million. It'd be nice. So when your brain starts shutting down, it's gonna cut down on all the things that are nice, all the things that are non-necessity. So when I started chasing conversion, and I did this with my coach, he said, "How many people did you talk to?" Because when I started, I just started cold calling. The reason why I started cold calling, because Hank said, and Hank was my team leader, but he also coached me. He said, "How many conversations did you have today?" I said, 20. He said, "Were they like real conversations?" I said, "Yep." He said, "How many appointments did you set?" I said, 15. He said, "Great." So I go on to 15 appointments and I didn't get any. The next week, the whole week, I set 22 appointments. I didn't get any. And he was like, "So wait a minute, let me get this straight." He's like, "You're on the phone. You're able to set 20 plus appointments and not one person wanted to list with you." And he's like, "So one or two things are happening. Either you're not pre-qualifying them before you're going there, or you don't know what the hell you're saying. Sit down with me and go through your presentation with me." And I went through the presentation of them. He was like, "This is great." He said, "But you never asked for the business." I was like, "What do you mean?" So I would go to listing presentations and I would do my pitch and I would be like, "Well, here's my information. When you're ready, give me a call." He was like, "What?" He was like, "No, you go with the listing agreement in hand. It's when I'm finished, here's the paperwork, press here, sign hard." And I was like, "But that's kind of like aggressive. And I'm like, give them time." He was like, "No." He's like, "That's why they're not calling you. You're not asking them to call you." He said, "It's a conversion problem." And I was like, "Okay, like, so how do I get better at that?" He was like, "Scripts. You gotta know what to say. You gotta know when to say it. And we worked on that. So then it got to the point where I would set 10 appointments and I get all 10. And what happened was I would set those appointments on Monday and Tuesday. So then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I wasn't working. I mean, because I'm like, I only need to set 2 appointments a week. I set 10. I'm like, I don't need to work. And then I'd go sometime and then probably skip the first 2 days too. Right? And then I was like, but then what would happen in my business, and it wasn't a big problem, but I would have months where I would close 15, then months where I would close 5. And it's like, but I want to consistently be at 15. And then I actually want to get to 20, 25. And I didn't want to kind of keep going here and then there because it just was hard. But then I realized, I said, okay, so because you keep having these gaps in your schedule, you keep, taking breaks when you feel like you've earned it instead of just systematizing it. And when I say systematize, I put myself on a payroll. I make the same amount of money every 2 weeks. I don't care what the business makes. Because I just want to, now, if I feel like we've done very well, I'll give myself a raise, but I don't change that because I want to be consistent in every area of my business, because the difference between how I used to do it is that money now that is able to stay in the business account now becomes profit that we use to drive further profits in the future versus me spending and eating my profit. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So attraction, core principle of attraction marketing is you're offering value up front without expecting immediate return. You can never, when you start going to attraction marketing, you can never expect anything in return. That's why I said, I don't care if it's a year. I'm just assessing the effectiveness of it. And we just hired a company and they actually start in May. this company is going to actually track everything, like my social media, my LinkedIn, my YouTube, and they're going to determine when people click on my profile, how long they stay there, where they go, why they go there, what they click on. Like, and then that's going to help me create content in that direction. So if content around lead generation gets them to stay 20 minutes and then gets them to click on a funnel, then I'll create more content like that. If content about marketing gets nothing, then I won't create content like, does that make sense? But they make recommendations based on that to help me.
See, that's what the corporate people are doing.
Yes.
Everything is based off of analytics now.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm showing them what to drive their
You have to.
money to.
And here's the thing, when you think about your business like a business, that's what you're going to do. If you look at your business like a hobby, you're never going to go that far. You're never going to go that far because you'll look at it like, well, when it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't. No, when it works, I want to know why it worked. And then I want to 10x that thing. Right? Because that's going to help me get to the next level. So another thing with attraction marketing, you're going to share your valuable insights, knowledge, resources, and related to your expertise. Here's the thing. How many people would say, and I believe you all should raise your hand, that you have a unique way of looking at things? Why are you not sharing that with people up front? Like leading with that. When I say leading with that, I'll give you one of my unique value propositions. Oh, and I love this. When I sit down with sellers, oh my gosh, it's so funny. I tell them up front, I'm like, I don't like real estate. I tell them up front, I don't see your house as a real estate. I see your house as a business. I'm a marketing professional. You have an asset, right? That's an appreciating asset. I am more like your financial planner. You're not going to find another real estate that's going to have this conversation like you. I'm going to look at how I can get you the most money for your house in the least amount of time. However, I'm looking at your house as something that I have to create an individual marketing plan for. I have a system on how I do that for each client. In the last couple of years, we have helped 150 sellers get over 10% of list price for their houses. Would you like to know more about that system? I didn't say I was a great realtor. I didn't say I closed 200 houses a year. I told them the system. If they want the results, then they can get in the system. I guarantee you ain't no other person coming at you with a system. They're gonna tell you how good they are, gonna tell you what they do. See, systems are what's up. We like systems, and a lot of times people have systems, their system is so good you don't know you're in it. Like that, Amazon got a system. Like, this is what I tell you, if you just study other businesses. I love Amazon. Like, I study Amazon. Like, I love how I could order something today, and then as soon as I order it, it's like, before I even get off the page, it's like, ding, like I got my email confirmation. Then it's like 4 hours later, your item has shipped. Then it's like 4 hours later, your item is 10 stops away. Then it's like 30 minutes later, Jimmy is 3 stops away. Get ready for Jimmy. Jimmy has arrived. And I'm like, this is great. Like this email sequence, and I'm following each one and I'm dictating like how I feel at this stage. And I'm like, why don't we treat our customers like that? Real estate is a customer service based business. If you think about the customer experience first, above everything, like how do they feel at different points in the transaction, it will change your business because nobody is thinking about the customer. Every realtor that I know always thinks about themselves. What kind of person they are, what kind of agent they are, how many deals they close. Who the hell cares? Nobody cares. When I say I don't, I always, when I was a new agent and I literally I would love to go on listing appointments against like the big dogs. Like I remember had a listing appointment, Tony Baroni. They were interviewing Tony Baroni. I was like, oh, bring it on. Like I was like my 6th month in real estate. And he was like, oh, Tony has all this stuff. I said, Tony, keyword, all this stuff. I don't got anything. You are my main focus. Everything that you need, I am spot on. You are my primary focus. The only thing I got to do in the next 90 days is sell your house. Right? And the thing about it is when I had the conversation with him, I didn't come and say, hey, I can do X, Y, Z. I hadn't even sold a house at that. So I didn't have anything to go on. However, I was honest with him in saying that when you deal with large teams, you're going to never deal with Tony. You're going to deal with Tony at the listing appointment. You'll never see him again. Me, you're going to see through the entire transaction because I'm going to be here holding your hand. because you are my customer and not part of a system. See, I use the system in different ways. Like you're my customer. You're not part of just some sales system that you come in and I check a notch on my belt because you're one of 1,000. You're the one for me. See how that works?
And now you're a Tony Brian.
Right, I know, right? I know. I thought about that. But you know, the thing is now I only work with referrals. So anybody that I work with, they have to come to me like through somebody like an agent or something. And then I work with them directly. So anything that comes like in a lead thing, it goes to the team. So they don't know me anyway. You get what I'm saying? And then hold on. Maybe. I could use this one too, right? Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. So the benefits of attraction marketing, it attracts prospects who are genuinely interested in what you have. I love when people come to me through my funnels because I know that they're already interested in what I have. I don't have to sell them. I don't like selling people. I like having conversations with people, finding out what they need and then helping them get it. It generates leads more effectively and it fosters long-term relationship with clients. Believe it or not, when you have an email campaign, a lead magnet on social media, and people start to see those things consistently, they begin to build brand awareness, right? They begin to build brand trust. A lot of us have trust in brands, not because we even interacted with them, but because we see them a lot, right? It's your reticular activity system. Everybody here knows who Coke is, right? Everybody here knows that what they are. But guess what? You don't know anything about the inner workings of their business, do you? Do you know anything about the Coca-Cola model? Like, no, we don't. We don't care. We just know that we've seen them enough for years and years and years. We just trust them, right? And it's just because they're Coca-Cola. Okay. So realtors should integrate both an active and a passive approach for a comprehensive lead generation strategy. And I wanted to stress that because it has to be comprehensive. Even with our marketing, you guys can write this down. When I tell clients how I market, I tell them that I have an integrated marketing system. I use digital, social, and traditional lead generation mediums and marketing mediums. Why that's important? Because what if I'm meeting with a 24-year-old that wants to sell his house and he a social media king? If I don't say social media, like I had this lady say, I'm not gonna sell my house to you because you didn't mention that you do social media marketing. Lady, houses don't get sold on Instagram. Like, what? Yeah, no, she wanted me on, so she wanted, when I pitched her, I didn't pitch that we promote her house on social media. What I'm saying is me posting your house on social media is not gonna sell your freaking house. But here's the thing. Also, if I got a 65-year-old man and I don't say traditional, like door to door, like just sold, just listed, they're gonna be like, oh, she's one of them millennials. All she wanna do is post on social media. Like she doesn't have a good business plan. So it's an integrated marketing plan, social, digital, and traditional marketing methods. Because I'm going to post on Instagram, I'm going to post on social, I'm going to use digital marketing like my email campaign. I have a list of realtors in every area. They're segmented in my phone and in my database. So whatever area that they're in, I have a list. If they're Houston realtors, Tampa realtors, any city, I have lists in my phone. If you have an iPhone can create lists. The reason for that is realtors sell houses. When I go over my listing appointment, I'm more likely to get a buyer from your house by contacting realtors and lenders, right? Because lenders have pre-approved buyers, especially I hit all the lenders around in the areas around my listing. And then I go back and I look at all the listings that have sold in the last 30 days. I call those agents and try to get with those lenders as well, because clearly they're working in that area. Call the realtors from those areas, but I also have my own database. Now that's more of the digital kind. The traditional kind is door knocking, is open house. We're going to do all that stuff as well. So we are going to integrate all of that, but they don't know that unless you tell them. So your lead generation strategy over time should become increasingly more passive, because how many of you want to be able to close deals while you're in another country, right? That's what you have to be able to work toward. You didn't get into real estate to work 100 hours a week, did you? Okay. But you might start out like that, but you have to, over time, get to a more passive side. I think this is probably a good place to just, I'm gonna just interject this here real quick. Cause I don't have my slides, so I want to show you guys this real quick. Hold on. So this is your job. This is you as a license. And this is you as an owner. And then this is you, business investor. All right, this is passive. This is active. Okay, so y'all know Robert Kiyosaki, his cash flow quadrant. I have this a little bit more pretty, but I don't have my computer plugged in, so I'm gonna show y'all right here. So this is the active side. I want you to understand that when you had a job, you had to work 40 hours a week or you didn't get what? Paid. Real estate, active. If you don't work it, you ain't gonna get what? Okay. So the thing is, as long as you're over here, that means you gotta show up somewhere every day. I have told you I don't always wanna show up somewhere every day. I really don't. So then now, my goal is to, and in my thing, this, how you get from here, well, obviously how you get from here, you just quit your damn job and get the license. But how you get to here is systems, and then how you get to here is through scaling and automation. Okay, so now when you're a realtor, you're gonna probably work 1 to 2 years before you can start to implement systems to take your business to the next level. Systems actually take your business to the next level because systems, hold on, system, tool, person. Okay, so systems actually help create a predictable business sequence. And then what happens, tools you use in the systems. So for example, you might have a lead generation system. Part of your lead generation system may be slide broadcast. That's a tool that you're using in that system. Now, how you get here is scaling and automation. Certain tools will help you scale. Automated is when you start to make it do what it does by itself, and then, or you get a person to do it that's not you. I am trying to get my business into a space where, have you guys seen Law Abiding Citizen? This is literally what put this on. There was a scene in that movie where Jamie Foxx was like, so tell us about this guy. He's like, he's a killer. Jamie Foxx was like, well, he's a killer, so what? Everybody's a killer. I'm a killer, you're a killer, who cares? He said, no, you don't understand. He learned how to kill people without being in a room. I said, oh, that's a game changer. When you can sell real estate without being in a room, like that's when, and not that you're never going to be at that space. However, you can create everything outside of the customer touch points can be systematized, can be automated. There are AI systems and tools that really can take your business to the next level if you're thinking on that level. If you're committed to staying over here and you just want to be active, you won't even be thinking about what I'm talking about. I don't want to be active forever. I want to retire with my husband. My husband is probably retiring in 10 years. When he retires, I want to retire too. I'm not going to be working and he's not working. That doesn't make any sense. However, if you start to now, how do you get the systems? And the reason why I'm telling you this, because all of this is predicated on understanding this. How do you get the systems? Is first you start documenting what you do. How many of you actually have a calendar and document what you do every day? Let me tell you why you have to do that. Because when you start documenting everything you're doing, you're going to see where you're wasting time. You're going to see where you're wasting energy and where you're not making money. I have a calendar system, and at the end of every day, I reconcile it. When I say I reconcile it, like stuff is on my calendar that I'm not going to do. I take that off because I didn't do that. Stuff is on my calendar that I did that I didn't make any money. That's a $1 activity. Why? It's a $3 activity. Well, $1 activity. Why am I doing $1 activities? $1 activities are somebody else's job. Or a tool or a system. You don't have to automatically hire somebody. It could be a tool, it could be a system. For example, emails. When you guys got people that are scheduling buyer appointments, why are you calling to confirm? You got Calendar is send them a reconfirmation link. Hey, Cheesette's coming tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Just confirming that you're going to be there. Confirm or cancel and reschedule. Why am I taking time to call? I'm a big systems person. Listen, I don't show listings to if I'm showing houses and I go to the MLS and it says call agent for showing, I'm not calling you. I'm not showing the house. Why? Why do I have to pick up the phone and have a conversation with you when you have a tool? I called this lady. She said, well, my client wants all the showings to come through me. Cool. Then set the showing time link up to come to your phone. Don't make me call you because this conversation just took 15 minutes out of my day that I could have been doing something else when I could have just clicked and been done with it. Use your systems, use your tools. And what happens is sometimes you might have to dedicate 30 minutes a day to learning how to use new systems and tools. This is why your calendar is so important because your money stuff happens in the morning, your follow-up stuff happens in the late morning, your afternoon, you should be free to go on appointments. And if you're not going on appointments, you're either leisure generating or learning new things. And this is why a calendar is super important because I always tell people, do not talk to more than 20 people a day. I have agents that are like, well, I'm gonna talk to 100 people today. Why? It's slow and steady wins the race. It's consistency. I don't need you to call 100 people a day. I need you to call 20 people for 100 days. Big difference, right? And a lot of times with our business, we come in and we have this like charge to go and do this, go and do that. But if you think fundamentally how business is built, I got to start doing something, get active. That's the build. I got to get something, get active so that I can assess how it's working. The reason I tell people the easiest way to start tracking, open up an Excel file, put seller, buyer, investor. On each tab, put what worked well and then what didn't work well. Leave an extra tab in the middle for possible solutions to each of those. What worked well is we took this client on a showing. We vetted the properties before we got there. They were able to get under contract in one showing. That went well. Okay, what did you do to make that showing go so well, right? So instead of just sending them blank listings on MLS, I actually took 15 minutes and went to look at every picture. I went to look at the size of the kitchen. I went to look at the bathroom. So that's 15 minutes that you invested up front that got you to a check 15 days quicker, right? You do that twice, and now you got a whole nother transaction in a 30-day timeline. This is why you have to start documenting. If you're not documenting what you're doing, you're going to miss opportunities to do it better. So when we start talking about building systems, now what happens is once you have documented it, you've decided what works and what doesn't, and now you start brainstorming. And don't have to brainstorm by yourself. I don't understand why more realtors don't mastermind on how to make their business processes better. Remember, I told you it's a customer facing industry. It's not about us. When I'm moving from here to here by documenting what I'm doing, I'm more thinking about how do I make the customer experience better. So we have an agent on my team. I don't do business like this, however she does. When she came to me, she doesn't want to work with sellers. Okay, cool. She only wants to work with buyers. Okay, cool. So we got to figure out how to bring that time down because you can't spend 30 hours working on buyers. You got to figure this out. Either you got to get a showing assistant because you need X amount of dollars, X amount of time to lead generate. And then if you're showing, that's going to take up a lot of your time. So what she decided to do is, are y'all ready for this? Because I could never do this. She doesn't take the clients on the showings with her. She goes on the showings herself. She schedules them all and she goes. She cancels the ones out that are not and she gives them the top 3. And when she calls them, she lets them know, I found your house. That's how she starts. I found your house. We have 3 options. We're going to go see 1, 2, or 3. And 1, 2, or 3 is going to be your choice. 97% of the time they choose 1, 2, or 3. So guess what? She only goes out twice because she goes out the once by herself and then one. And I was like, I wouldn't do it. However, here's what she said. She's like, I have never taken a client out more than once. She's like, I've seen you take clients out 5 times. She's like, so who's really winning? And I'm like, I see you, but I can't walk into a house by myself. I just really can't. I don't even know how to, like, I need you to come in. You just tell me if you like. So, but that's her process. And what I'm saying is she started documenting her time, right? Because you have to start documenting your time because time for us kills deals and it is money. So now when I started to put the systems in, now in order to get to a place where, I'm now, this is a real estate business owner. This is a business owner meaning that I could go on vacation for a week and my phone does not have to ring. Right? Nobody's going to be calling for me, asking me about inspection. There's somebody there that's a point of contact for all of my people. I have systems in place where they know when they're going to get stuff and they trust me enough to allow me to go on vacation comfortably. I'm going to go on vacation either way. I'm just saying, but comfortably. Right? And then here at the Business Investors, that's when you're just really funding the business. And this is, believe it or not, this is the creative side of your business. right? So your brain has two parts. It has a logistical side, like logical, working, then it has creativity. This is where it gets fun, right? And when I say where it gets fun, this is when you start to think about, okay, we have the systems in place, we're doing great. Now, how do I 10x those systems? How do I take it to the next level? So one of the things that we are implementing in our business this year, or we just started implementing it, every time somebody, because I get so many referrals, every time somebody makes a referral, they get a call from somebody in our customer service department. We verify their address, phone number, email. We put them on a birthday smart plan and we send them a Starbucks card, and then they get a call from me as well. Right? Because remember, I told you realtors are my client, right? So how we take that to the next level, we've already exhausted the system, or not exhausted it, but pushed it very far on how to get referrals. Now that the referrals are coming in, if I want to get more referrals, I just need to reward the behavior that people are already doing. Right? So now how I'm tracking that is I got a call today from an agent that gave me a referral. She told somebody in her office about me, and that person has a client that's coming to Tampa. So I got a call. She said, hey, I told Joy that I had somebody coming to Tampa, and she gave me your information. So now, not only am I getting a referral, the referral is setting up a referral. You get it? So like I'm giving it legs. Does that make sense? So now she's going to get a thank you card from me for referring that agent as well. Another cup of Starbucks. Small things. However, what I'm showing her is that I care. You're helping me build my business. Why would I not want to do that? Right? So now, when you start to get into scaling to automation, this is when you're going to start learning. Right now, AI. You got to learn. You got to learn how to scale and automate stuff. You got to learn. I use ClickUp in my business. I love ClickUp. So ClickUp is the kind of thing that, and it's you can use it as a CRM, but it's not, I mean, it's a project management tool is what it is. So if, I need to be able to show them my computer, stuff on my computer. I just realized that. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to show you. So
You wanna take a break first? We can set it
yeah,
all up?
we'll take a 5-minute break because I got a couple more slides, but then I want to get into showing you guys some stuff on my computer.
Alright,
So we'll take a 5-minute break.
Tom just brought us an amazing lunch from Ivor Grill. And
Woohoo!
he's gonna just give us a quick little talk, and then everybody can go to the bathroom and get some lunch. It's in the large conference room, and then come back and we'll start to the topic. This is Tom Lemata with Union.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you all for having me, and appreciate the opportunity to provide lunch as well. So I'm here in the office. For those of you who I haven't met, I'm right around the corner here pretty much every day. But I just wanted to kind of take a look back in time real quick. So let's go back 2 years. With regard to mortgages, where were rates back 2 years ago? Anybody have an idea?
5.
Right around 5. Yes, we were around 5 and an 8 about 2 years ago. Today, it's a very volatile market, so we're anywhere between that high 6, low 7% range. Today, we're right around 7 and an 8. So it's a 2% increase in 2 years. So on a $350,000 loan amount, that's about $450 a month difference in payment just based on the rate. We all know that prices have gone up a little bit too, so you factor that in, you're looking at a little bit of an increase there as well. So we need to kind of go back to the basics when it comes to our offers. And going into the weekend, I just want you to remember seller credits. You know, those are something right now, affordability being so key. You know, somebody can afford the payment, qualify for the payment, I should say, but is it an affordable payment in their mind? Once they sign that contract, they're going to start thinking about that until all the inspections are done, the appraisal's back, and they're at the closing table. So what we can do to help kind of curtail that is requesting a seller credit to be used towards a temporary buy down or permanent buy down if it makes more sense. The good thing with the temporary buy down, and some people don't know this, is if we do a 2-1 buy down, that's reducing the rate by 2% in year 1 and 1% in year 2. If they decide to refinance, if rates improve, as economists do believe, then they can actually use whatever portion of that buy down they didn't take advantage of, and it'll go against their principal amount when they refinance. So they're not losing it. With a permanent buy down, if they haven't met that recoupment cost of 3-4 years, whatever it might be, they lose that money. So they lose out on those money from the permanent buy down. So my recommendation is we always take a look at a temporary buy down compared to a permanent buy down, see what the advantages, disadvantages are. The key though is getting that seller credit up front to be able to help as much as you can with making that payment affordable. Take the buyer's mind off the payment, let them focus on the beauty of purchasing that home. Okay? So I'm here if you need me, I'm available over the weekends. I can always help structure what that looks like, pre-approving your buyers and making sure that we get them into an affordable payment that they're happy with. Okay? So hope you enjoy lunch. Seaboard Grill, we have some Cubans, some salad, some water to drink, so enjoy it all.
Thank you. All right. So before we go, anybody have any questions? And when she comes back, I'm gonna finish a couple slides and then I'm gonna go show you my processes and things that I've talked about. Don't mind me, I get really excited. Y'all haven't even seen me turn up yet. Like, I'm low energy today. I'm very proud of myself.
To put those systems in place, do you have to, obviously you have to invest in them, but do you have like a certain number to start?
I play red light, green light. I do not believe any person in business should spend money that they have not made. If you have not made the money to invest in them, I say get on the phone and prospect, do open houses, get leads organically. And then when you make the money, you sit it, you know, we have our KW is 30, 30, 40. So you 30% goes to cost of sale, 30% goes to expenses, 40% goes into a profit account and it stays there. At the end of the quarter, you pay your taxes and then whatever's left, that's what you reinvest. I do not believe in spend, because I say that because if we start front loading our business, it gives us the illusion that we've arrived. We haven't. Until you make the money, you haven't arrived. Go work for it. And then before we leave, just remind me, I'll talk to you a little bit about how to do open houses differently. Because I think a lot of people, like, I would never go to an open house and say, hey, I'm selling this house. You know, can you stop by? Who cares? I'm not stopping by your open house, right? However, when you leave with certain phrases, I do a lot of framing because if I say, I promised my client that I'm selling this house, I promised them that I would get insight from 10 neighbors. And I know you probably haven't seen the inside of the house, but they're really charging me with giving them feedback. Do you mind stopping by and filling out a feedback form? So then what I look like I'm keeping it very connected to my clients, doing exactly what I was paid to do. And I got you into the house just to help me. But then when we get to the house, we can have a further conversation. But I gave you an assignment, right? Like I put you to work essentially. And then now people respond better to assignments than suggestions. So there's just a lot of like different tweaks and it's a framing thing. Like even when I'm talking to clients, I like the commission conversation. I'm not talking to you about commission. Because here's the thing. I always want to have home field advantage. If I talk to you about commission, you already know what you want to say because you was waiting for your time to shine. You was waiting for the opportunity to hit me with the commission. I'm not doing that. What I'm going to do is reframe it. And when I say reframe it, I'm going to just so with the commission conversation, I have a buyer or a seller presentation and it has like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% commissions. And I let them know that, okay, so how much do you think I should get paid for selling your house? Oh, well, you're doing a lot of work. So you're taking pictures, marketing, I gotta pay taxes, broker, et cetera. Oh, well, we don't mind paying you 3%. Okay, great. So that's my fee. Let's talk about my professional fee. Let's talk about the person that's selling your house. How much do you think we should pay them? Oh, I don't want to pay them anything. Okay, great. So let's look at all these houses that are listed on your street. This one's 3%, this one's 3%, this one's 2%. If you were an agent and you were coming on the street to sell a house for a client that wanted to be at this house, and I put yours as the 4th one, which house would you show? Well, I would show the one with 3%. Why? Because I'd make money. And what would you be able to do with that money? Take care of my family. Okay, so you're telling me that in this competition where your house is going to be competing with these 4 other houses, because conceivably, if they're looking in this neighborhood, they're looking for a certain size, quality house, so they're probably all very similar. So you are saying that you want to enter the competition at 0 while your competitors are at 2 and 3. Right? So I'm not saying you need to pay the commission. I'm just asking you a question. Like logistically, like what I'm saying is people have to have a pattern interrupt. They're not all they're thinking about commission because that's not a pattern interrupt with them because they already had that lined up when they saw the lawsuit. They was ready. They had that in their head. You got to get them out of that and into a new frame so they can really start thinking with their brain. All right, let's go eat lunch.
It looks so good. His wife, made cookies again.
Made what?
Cookies.
So she's giving cookies out?
The last time he brought cookies, they were huge.
What kind?
We were like,
There's a lady.
our
There's a lady. She's a little older lady, Margot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's one of our vendors.
Have you had her cookie? I said, can I have the recipe?
Yeah, she goes up to, she'll show up to inspections with cookies.
Those cookies, the one you want? You here we go?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab this one. Hold on. You can plug in, this charger right here.
Yeah.
Okay, Mandy, I'm gonna grab some lunch.
Okay, you know where it's at, right?
No, I'm gonna follow her. She doesn't look good.
Are you getting some ideas there, Carlo?
Yeah,
Good.
Then I was gonna be a juice, on a juice diet. First day, and look.
And the first day, yeah.
And
The
look
cue
at
that's
me.
hitting it right.
Right. So successful. Thank you. Okay. That's all I need. See me on my first day of my juice diet. The girl, get it, cause, with solid food.
With solid food.
How long you gonna be on it? Child, please, it ain't started yet. Oh goodness, clearly. But you know you gotta take baby steps, it's okay. You gotta take baby steps, you can't just go all in. I'm gonna ask her. Thank you.
Hey,
for the
so
failure. I'm gonna ask, this is
What
not
do you
the
think?
question. From doing hair, and cause I do hair part-time.
I think that that's good. I
Mhm.
just think they're so far related.
They are.
It takes a lot of energy to maintain both.
Mhm.
I don't think it's impossible. It's anything, the Bible says all things are possible, anything's doable.
Said that and I love That's the reason why I got into real estate.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it was
Well,
similar.
I have a hairdresser, I buy databases from hairdressers.
Really.
Oh yeah, I buy databases. Yeah. So here's the thing, if it's a pool company, I ain't competing with them.
Mm-hmm.
If I just say, let me email everybody in your database and tell them that real estate, that when you put a pool in your house, it increases the value by 20 or 30%. Why don't you get a pulse check and find out if the pool you put in your house in the last year or two increased the value? Here's Cheesette's information, contact her. And I do the same thing for mine. Hey, studies show that if you put a pool in your house, you go value up XYZ. Here's ABC Pool Company. Why don't you contact them for a quote? 10X, their database, my database.
Smart.
Yeah, we got things. I'm telling you, I am secretly lazy. I'm not even joking. I try to figure out how to get the most result for the least amount of work.
Same effort. No, they were
Well,
smart.
because most business, there's a book called Great CEOs Are Lazy. The book is kind of around that concept. It's a great book.
How do you structure your days or weeks around your family?
I only work 4 days a week.
Four.
Mhm. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll finish at 5 because we have church. And then, Monday and Thursday are like however I need them to be, whatever I need to accomplish for the week. And, I just believe though that breaks are more effective. Like, I think people work too much. I do think you need to work. I think you need to work smarter, not harder. Because they prove that you should take a lunch. You should be stopping in the middle of the day to at least read a book, take a walk. You gotta, yeah, just reset. We never do that. Realtors, they love to brag about how they work 100 hours, they ain't getting no sleep. I don't want to be that person. And I don't want my kids to see me be that person.
Many naps in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a nap.
I just struggle to sleep when the sun is out. Oh, I
I know.
can't.
Well, not me. I'll take a nap in a minute. All right.
But
I'm
naps are
tired.
productive.
I've made a
They
good
are
nap.
productive. Believe it or not, the studies show the people that take naps are more productive than any other people. LeBron James said he takes naps every day. Yeah. I forget humans have pickles on it. I like pickles. Yeah, I didn't take them off.
Well, it's on Audible, Grammatical Prospect.
Oh, I love it.
I
Like
love
that book.
Yeah, I do like.
I love that book.
And it's all we talking about is pattern interrupter.
You have to. Most people are stuck in a cycle of sameness. They're not even listening to you. They're hearing all the stuff that's on replay in their head. Something's got to jolt it and change it. I'm excited about going to Virginia. Remember, I'm going to Atlanta too, and then Maryland. Well, I just called him and said I have a new course that I wanted to just teach out there. So we're doing mental mapping in Atlanta. Mental mapping. I'm working on it now. That's why I want to teach it, so I can perfect it. It won't be in the list of next year, but I'm working on it. I haven't done anything with it. The first time I teach it is gonna be in Atlanta.
You said there was one that was, you said that's Atlanta. You have two in Atlanta?
Oh, no, just the one. The one on mental mapping. Because if you ever notice, like, hoarders, the reason why they can't think and they're depressed, because their mental mapping is overloaded. Like, the stuff in their houses represents their brain. So just as cluttered as their houses are, a lot of times that's how their brain is. And literally, when they start to organize the stuff in the house, their brain usually like follows suit. And they start to learn what they can throw out, what they can keep. If we don't ever do that in our business, we may be keeping stuff longer than we need to. When I say keeping stuff longer than we need to, the whole lead generation thing. You don't have to go. We're keeping that longer than we need to. Do you need to know how to have a sales call? Yes. But a sales call is not a cold call. A sales call is somebody clicks on one of your funnel and you call them and say, hey, just following up with you, seeing what you need. Like it's a consultative thing, right? It's not a cold call. Because here's the thing. I just see agents just being a PC coach. They would say they cold call them, but they're not doing it.
Well,
And I'm like, why are we lying? Just say you don't wanna do it and we can figure out something else.
So you were talking about the clutter,
Yeah.
and the clutter in your mind.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So Antonio worked on very and because he got overloaded
Mm-hmm.
on clicking on Google on budget plans for nonprofits, even though I gave him a template, he got so overloaded with all of the information that he didn't know.
Yep.
So he stopped. So I had an issue with Lauren.
Yep.
She's 11, right? This is the grown lady in the story.
Yep.
But there's no difference. When
Mhm.
Lauren gets stomped on something in school, on her homework, she doesn't want to do it, she wants to just stop doing it, and she does nothing. It's the same for us.
Mhm.
So if it's I'm not, I'm focused, I'm starting something else, and I'm not.
I think that's human nature though. I don't think, yeah, I'm about to say, I think that's human nature. That's why it becomes easier when you do something you like. So like, you know, the R&B, did I invite you to the R&B night tomorrow? So let me tell you this. Yeah, it's tomorrow in Western Chapel. It starts at 6:15. I invited 15 sets of clients there. Just to hang out with them. And guess what I'm gonna be doing while I'm hanging out with them? How's the job going? Got any new coworkers? Who live in an apartment building? Take my card, get some people in your job. Uh-huh,
Was it great?
uh-huh. Mm-hmm. It's really nice. I was, however, Aubrey's gonna stay the night over at her friend's house, so I'm trying to find a babysitter for Harley. Because I don't wanna bring Harley if Aubrey ain't gonna be there. And Aubrey's friend's mother said she would watch Harley, however, I don't want Aubrey to feel like every time she goes with her friends, her sister has to be with her. I just don't, I think that that's weird. They're two different ages. It'd be different if they were like the same age. They're two different ages. She think everywhere, and she think everywhere one go, they all gotta go. I would never do that to her. Cause she her own person. But she said to me the other day, she said, I'm so sick of being around people. She said, I just wanna be by myself. I think she's kind of, it's always somebody home, it's always something. I think she's kind of, I think she's an introvert too. I think she's looking for some quiet space. Aubrey. We're gonna start in like 5 minutes, guys. Mm-hmm. I think she's an introverted, actually. So here's the thing. She's like that for an hour. If you notice, as time progresses, she goes back. My husband's the same way. He starts high, and then after about an hour, you're gonna be like, "Where here?" Because he done went and sat down somewhere private.
I love it when you come over as long as you go home.
Mm-hmm, yep.
In a timely fashion.
In a timely fashion. But I think what she was just trying to communicate is that she needed some space from her sister. I didn't have a sister, so I never had nobody that annoyed me the way Harley annoys her. I have a sister, but I was already out of the house when she came.
Yeah, I got you.
I saw Lauren.
Lauren needed a sibling.
She could hang out with Lauren.
Lauren needed a sibling. Lauren needed a sibling.
Maybe what?
A sibling. Too late now. She did. No, what I'm saying is, even if you have one, it's farther along. Mhm. I just realized something. All right, we're gonna get started in 2 minutes. I just realized I could just log into her Zoom and then just share my screen.
Even now.
Are they moving? Is it a Zoom?
They ain't doing, I already talked to them, they can't do that.
Meeting, I did.
No, not like, I'm talking about like, hey, If somebody.
It was a 1905.
That's, the reason I'm talking about, when everybody talking about like creating money, I'm talking about if they want it, I'm like, that's true.
Melissa, thank you. It's a fantastic way of looking at it. That's not how my brain works. Listen, we gotta, our brain works so powerful. We're gonna start in like 5 minutes, guys. I'm just logging in so I can share my screen. 301-446-17. 301-446-17. Oh, 1713.
But I know what you're talking about.
You just want clips, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and before we go, is there, I mean, you all can join, but I'm the affinity director for the KW Black Real Estate Network. Are you guys involved in that? Okay.
Can you say that one more time?
The KW Black Real Estate Network, anybody can join, but it's a real estate network for, the goal is to promote homeownership and increase the wealth gap, decrease the wealth gap, I'm sorry, in the Black community. But you guys know about our affinity groups here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you must learn about them. I have a class on referrals. If you guys join the email list, I'm getting ready to do a lead magnet around that, and it's a training that'll come. But, my business started with referrals through the affinity groups. So they have all kind of affinity groups like Chispa. Have you heard of Chispa?
Cheesecake, yeah.
They have, KW, Wealth, KW Clarity, KW, Arab, like everything.
Okay.
Like, they have like one for Indian culture, cause I just went to India. And I partner with an organization here for our missions
Do they
and
do for Mexico?
Chispa. Well, no, they do. It's not Chispa. Well, some people in the lady that runs it is Mexican.
Really?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
think that they consider that Hispanic. I'm not sure.
Mexican.
I know.
Hispanics.
But what I love about the affinity groups is, believe it or not, that's a great space to meet agents and get referrals.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how, like, I don't miss mega camp and family reunion. I don't. I missed family reunion this year because I was in India, but, I generally don't miss that because when I come home, the 60 days following those, I double my transaction.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I
Okay.
intentionally meet people in cold places,
Okay.
right? Like, I don't like, yeah, I meet people that, like, I'm from Miami, bye, I don't wanna meet you. I wanna meet somebody from Kansas, right, from New York, because I know that their clients are gonna be moving down to Tampa. So, all right,
Yeah, definitely send out that, invitation,
yes, okay.
please.
So I am going to, get us back started, but hold on one second. I am, hosts have joined. Rebecca, hold on. 301, hold on one second, guys. I'm just trying to join from Zoom because I want to show you guys, the things that I have. Hold on. All right, let's see. All right, so join 301-446. 301-446-1713. Join. Okay, join. Rebecca, can you let me in the room?
Have you tasted these cookies?
You're good.
She makes good bread.
Rebecca, are you still on?
I love the good brownie. I was sitting at home. Cup of milk, throw them all in there and eat it like cereal.
She's not in her office.
Never been swallowed.
There's that.
Rebecca? You said Rebecca's not in her office?
Yes, ma'am, she's not there.
Oh, no, there it goes. Oh, no, I got it. I was able to find it. Okay, perfect. Gotcha. All right. Okay. Okay. Join audio. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. Okay. Oop.
I don't even gotta take a Break and ask, look at the comments on the Zoom, cause I just.
Oh, yeah, I
started
did.
doing Zoom. Okay, yeah.
All right, guys, you ready? Y'all can eat, right? Okay. So we're gonna talk about the 5 key components of attraction marketing, right? So I gotta remember that I'm on 2 different ones now. Okay, perfect. All right. So if you want to start attraction marketing, if you wanted to start today, and the resource that I'm going to give you are going to be 20 ways that I have actually used to attraction market, and I'll send those to you via email. So the first thing you have to do is you have to build a strong personal brand. You must build a strong personal brand. And let me tell you why. A lot of times people are afraid. Hold on a second. Okay. Huh? Okay, here's the thing. You don't have to like people looking at you. However, when you start to create a brand around, hold on 1 second, percent full screen. Okay. There we go. All right. So here's the thing about a personal brand. People are going to connect with you when you have their same values. So my first 100 houses were for moms. So I met LaWanda when I moved down here. We were in a moms group together. It was Mocha Moms. I think you were the president of the chapter over here somewhere, like Brandon or something like that. And I met her. And all the moms, I was in homeschool groups because I homeschool my kids. I was in homeschool groups. I was in community. I didn't know nobody here, right? So I joined every mom groups. All those moms bought houses for me. All of them. Right? Because they knew who I was. They knew my values. They didn't know who I was as a realtor. However, they knew who I was as a person. And you want to attract with like-minded people who share your values. You won't know if they share your values until you start to talk. They got to hear you to know if you mirror their values. So part of the reason why I get a lot of the clients that I get, because I talk to people that are moms. I want to be home with my kids. I like working, but I love being home for my kids. I pride myself on, I don't miss anything for my kids. Last night, I'm on a board at GTAR. Last night, we were supposed to go to a networking event. My kid decided that she wanted to do something with the middle school ministry of church. I didn't go to that networking thing. I love y'all, but this is not priority for my business. I'm gonna go, she wanted to go to church, we're going to church. And what I'm saying is to be able to build a business that you can do that with, that's why we got into real estate. I'm only bringing people back to the reason that they got into real estate. We didn't get into it for just money because a lot of us were already doing generally okay in our jobs before we got here. We got into it because we wanted freedom. I tell people I'm like Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad right now. Like I'm trying to be free. Like for real. It's that important to me. Because here's the thing. I have a purpose for my life. There's things that I'm supposed to be doing. I cannot do that if I'm consistently, oh no, I got it. Okay. If I'm consistently stuck at somebody's job, if I'm consistently feeling bad about myself because I'm somewhere that's outside of my purpose and paying me less than I know that I'm worth as far as my value. So when I start to build a unique personal brand, you don't have to be in front of the camera. You just need to figure out a way to help people understand how you think, why you think that way, and who you are. Because the thing is, they just want to see themselves in you. My favorite, and you'll identify this with every brand you like. My favorite brand of all time is Nike, all time. There's not a brand that resonates with me better than Nike. Because Nike, their theme is just do it. If you ever notice, until I'm gonna say 2015, Nike from 1980 to 2015 never had a shoe in their commercial. Yet they sold shoes. 2015 they started putting it back, but prior to that they didn't. Know why? Because it wasn't about the shoe. It's about how the shoe makes you feel. That's why they show you athletes, determination, motivation, driven, being driven, tenacity. They're showing you the examples of that in the athletes, Serena Williams, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. What they're showing you is fierce competitors so that now you start to look at their shoes as being worn by the top of the world's elite. That's one of the reasons, like people don't realize the reason why athletes make great marketing, make great marketing values for your ads is because they have a level of discipline that most people only aspired. Right? The reason why I started liking Tom Brady specifically was not because he was great. He wasn't great when I started liking him. He was at Michigan. What I liked about him was the fact that when you talk about who he was as a player, they would say how he would come and the same thing with Jordan. He would come and when people were out partying, he was out practicing. And Jordan, when he was at UNC, when people were hanging out, he in the gym shooting shots. Now here's the thing: I want to be that person. I really do. I know y'all want to be that, but we're not, right? We're not. Well, I'm sorry. I don't know you. I'm not. However, I do want to be motivated and inspired by those people. Kids, why? Because I believe one day I could be. I do believe one day I could be that. I do. I want to be assimilated with that because I believe that that's where I'm going. When people come into your world, you want them to have that kind of connection with you because they're not just going to buy one house with you. They're going to help you build your business. You are looking for people to help you build your business. One of the other things that I do, I have a vendor database. Everybody that's in my database that has a business, I know about it. If I can buy from people in my database, I buy from people in my database. Why? I want them to help me build my business, right? I'm gonna help them build their business. Closing gifts, I only buy for people in my database. People that sell stuff, like I got a lady, she sell wreath. One year I bought every client a wreath. I mean, it was Christmas time, like just run about it, because I gotta buy Christmas gifts anyway. She got wreaths for $20 a pop and she deliver them to the clients. Do you know how well that went over to get a hand delivered wreath to your house that said happy 1 year home anniversary or Merry Christmas? That went over well. But guess what that lady did? She gave me 5 names for people at her job. Why? Because I bought 100 wreaths from her. She made $2,000 off me at once. But guess what to me is marketing money, right? Because yes, I bought the things from her. However, I also won somebody that I could call her for any time, anything, and she's going to help me out. I could call and say, hey, we're having a slow month. I really need to get some inventory. Can you find out from somebody at your job who's looking to buy, sell, or invest? Because why? I invested in value in her up front. So when I talk about a personal brand, that's what I tell them. I'm building my business. I'm going to help you build yours. Who doesn't want to spend time with a person like that? A lot of you have these same qualities. Nobody knows about it. You're trying to talk to people about real estate. They don't care about real estate until they need it. Nobody cares about real estate until they need it. Nobody needs a realtor until they need it. They're not thinking about you. You have to figure out how to get involved in their life. And that's what attraction marketing is. It's meeting them where they are, getting involved in their life instead of trying to bring them into your world. Nobody cares. Nobody is sitting here like, oh, I need a CMA for my house. They don't care. What's going to happen is they're going to see a house that they want. And it's going to be like, oh my God, I love this house. I want this house. I need to sell my house. And they're going to call whoever is top of mind. If you're not top of mind, they're not going to call you. Even if you have the best marketing plan, are you top of mind? I also connect with people on social media. I tell people when I call people or when I put stuff in my database, I count social media touch as a call, as a touch. It's a touch. Because guess what? I don't need to ring your phone. If I could comment on your baby's picture and tell you your baby's beautiful, that's where you are. You at work anyway. We are a lot of times interrupting people. That's why they're not taking our cold calls. It's cool. Some people we won't interrupt. We'll catch them, but a lot of people are interrupted. I have a guy that I've been trying to get solar panels on my house for 3 years. Explain to me why I don't have them. You know why I don't have them? Because I told this idiot, and I'm gonna call him an idiot. I said, I do want to get solar panels, except you keep calling me during the day. I work during the day. I cannot talk during the day. 3 years. This guy has called me 15 times before 3 o'clock. He's an idiot. I'm like, you're not even listening to me. I'm telling you that I want what you have. I'm telling you that every time you call me, and I'm saying that because my phone rang earlier, it was that idiot. And every time he calls me, I'm teaching a class and doing something, I'm telling you that during the day I'm working. Don't call me during the day. You can't set an alarm for 5:30, call me on your way home, 6 o'clock, nothing. You don't care about me. And then now you're not going to get my business. He don't, right, what I'm saying is, why are we trying to get people on our terms? This is about helping people get what they want on their terms. We have to figure out how to stay connected to them so that when they raise their hand, we're right in the pocket and ready to slide in. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. This is what I'm saying. You don't have to call people every day. I had a conversation with a girl on Monday. Somebody referred her to me. Do you know why she's fired her realtor? She said the realtor calls her too much. And I was like, okay, help me understand that, because I would think that's a responsive realtor. She said, I already told her I work a stressful job. She's like, I do not want to be bothered during the day. She said, I signed a buyer agreement with her. I told her that my job was stressful and that when I was ready or when I found something, I would let her know. She still calls me 3 or 4 times a week. She said, she's annoying me. I can't do it.
It's hard because we're taught to follow
And
up.
this is what I told her. This is what I told her. But and she was like, this is exactly. She said, do they teach y'all that in real estate school? She's like, because this is so stupid. I said, here's the thing. They do teach us that in real estate school. And I said, that real estate agent is absolutely doing their job. I said, however, the other part to that is understanding people and human behavior.
Right.
If somebody tells you to stop, you have to give them, because you're giving them what they want. Do you guys get on the pivot shift call with James Shaw? Were you on this morning? Okay, so this.
Tell them about that.
Oh,
They need to be on it.
yeah. Every morning, just at 8 o'clock, just I was getting dressed. While you're getting dressed is good value. But he said that customer service, real service, is giving people what they want. He said, I went to, I think he said some hotel, the Conrad in Austin. He said that he hates being called Mr. Shaw. He's like, I hate it. That's my dad's name. Like, don't do that. He was like, I went to the place and he's like, the guy was like, hey, Mr. Shaw. He's like, don't call me Mr. Shaw. I prefer James. He said, so from the time he said that, he said, every person that I walked up into the hotel said, hi, James. He said, I'm like, hold on. They have to have a system or dispatching. He likes to be called James. See, that's a level of service that people will pay for and they will never forget about. We're not giving people service because we're too wrapped up in our own head about what we need, our commission, instead of setting up our long-term business stuff so we don't have to worry about money. We don't have to worry about leads. We can focus on the prospects in front of us if we have what they need and we have what they want, but we can just let business organically happen. So what he said was he went to his daughter's school. So he said he really appreciated that. He said, because I didn't have to say for the whole weekend, everybody that met me for the first time called me James. I thought that was powerful. He said, that's a level of customer service. He said he went to his daughter's school. He said, and he told the principal, she said, hi, Mr. Shaw. He said, please call me James. I prefer to be called James. He said, she was like, oh, no, we don't do that around here. We address people with respect and professionally. We're going to call you Mr. Shaw. He's like, and I was just like, you're the dumbest person in the world. Like, I'm telling you what I want. And you're telling me that you're going to do something different. And then you think I'm going to do business with you. If somebody tells me that they have a stressful job, I'm never going to call them, ever. I'm always going to text you. And then I'm going to say, if it's a good time to talk, you can call me now. If not, I'm free again at 4. If not, tomorrow at 2. I understand what it's like to be stressed. I think a lot of times we don't put ourselves in the other person's seat. I have had people cold call me and I have a kid crying in the background, food burning on the stove, one trying to get in the tub. And then you think I want to talk to you about solar panels? Like, I can't. And it's not that I'm not interested. You just caught me at the wrong time.
Good reminder.
You're right.
Tomorrow.
Right. So with the guy with the solar panels, y'all know Tico just had her increase, right? My electricity bill was $600 last month. I was like, oh, I need to get these solar panels like yesterday. And I'm like, but everybody that calls me always calls during the day. I just can't never talk to them. I've never been able to really get into a conversation. And I'm like, I tell everybody, I'm working during the day. I'm free after 5, but before 7. Is there anytime you call me? They all say yes, ma'am, and nobody has ever called me during the day. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, y'all don't want to make a set. Okay. So then you must consistently create and distribute content with a T. So content is king in attraction marketing. Real estate professionals must create high quality, informative content such as blog posts, articles, videos, social media posts, and posts that address needs, concerns, and interests of their target audience. And by sharing valuable content, you can attract and engage potential clients. And here's what that means. When I say that valuable insight, videos, if you don't want to, you don't have to stand in front of somebody. Just do a video with what an inspection contingency is. 2 seconds. An inspection contingency is XYZ. Then just send it out to people. Post it on social media, and then start to post. Let's just say you break down the buyer contract from the buyer process from start to finish. Okay, so when you want to buy a house, this is the first thing you do. That's its own video. This is the second thing you do. You talk to a lender, then you meet a realtor. Then you're going to go look for houses. Then you're going to go under contract. Then you're going to have an inspection period. Then you're going to have an appraisal period. And you start to like create a playlist on YouTube like 1, 2, 3, 4, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and you get all the steps down and you have that into a comprehensive system. And then now you start to create a lead magnet. If you want to know detailed step-by-step instruction on the full steps that you need to buy a house, click here, click home buyer, and I'll send you this guide. You send them a guide, something that you get Chat GPT to write, send it with a video, boom. You got a client that says she's the most educated person I know. She got 10, she wrote everything down. She put it in steps. It's clear, easy to understand. She's smart. I want to work with her. And you don't have to record it live. You know, if you don't want to record, you don't have to record it live. But guess what else you can do? I don't know if you guys see this, but when you're on like Zoom, like even now, Canva has the ability for you to present and record. Do slides. Put your face off the camera. Don't put your face off the camera. If you don't like video. Blocks. Chat GPT can write the blocks. Right? And then you just sprinkle your person. Obviously, you have to sprinkle your personality into it, but yes. But it needs to happen enough and it has to meet their needs. When I say meet their needs, just saying the buyer process, that might interest some people that are younger first-time home buyers, but think about what would attract an experienced buyer. What would attract an experienced buyer well, this might help too. You might have to learn about this. Tax portability. Do you have a house that you're selling? I can show you how to sell the house and get a tax advantage for the house that you're buying. Then you get the information from whoever has it, you break it down for them and say, if this is you, give me a call. That automatically people that own a house are gonna be like, am I leaving money on the table? Like, is there tax money that I could be having? Like, let me just call her and see. I just want to make sure. That's your opportunity now. But you know that they have an interest, otherwise they wouldn't have reached out to you. So create those consistently. And when I say consistently, like at least once a month. That's far, but like once, I mean, as consistent as you can be. But what I'm saying is, even if it's every quarter, just whatever it is, it's consistent. Don't do it one quarter and then don't do it again for 3 months and then do it for 2 months and then don't do it again for 2 years. No, consistent. Okay, then you must focus on building, you must focus on engagement and relationship building. Successful, attractive marketing is about relationships. Only thing I'm trying to do is get in a relationship with more people. That's what it's about. I'm using the lead magnets as leverage to get into relationships with people. And what happens is because the relationship is being developed based on their need, I know exactly where to categorize them and how to put them into a space where I can later market to them. And then you must consistently create lead magnets. Everybody, do you guys know how to do lead magnets? So I'm gonna show you what they look like. I have another training where I walk through how to actually create lead magnets. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. I'll walk you through the most basic way, and then you guys can scale it up from there if you can. But lead magnets are ebooks, checklists, webinars, free consultation, anything that you can give them that they can click and give you their information. So when I say checklist, 15 things you got to do before you sell your home. That's a checklist. Keller Williams got those things. You could pull them from Command. They got checklists, they got playbooks, they got home seller playbook. If you want a playbook on how to sell your home, here you go. Send me your email. Put your face on the first page and then go. Whatever it is, however, you just want something that they can click on and add their information. You want to capture their information. And then you must nurture leads through email marketing. You have to have, we call it like a welcome sequence. Like when somebody comes into your email funnel, you want to be able to say, thank you for clicking on my email. Welcome to my database, or welcome to my email list. Here's what you do, blah, 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 blah. 2 days later or a week later, how are you liking it here? We love to have new people around. Did you introduce yourself in our community if you got a Facebook group? I always tell people, start a Facebook group. Why don't I have a Facebook group? Everybody here got a Facebook group? Start a Facebook group. And when I say start a Facebook group, don't start it around real estate.
Pick your passion.
Pick your passion and then start it around your passion and then grow it with people that have the same common interest. And then once it gets to a point where it's like, ta-da, then you start to market to them. And when I say, so I have a young lady, she was on our team. She recently went to another KW, but she loves cigars. I'm like, do you understand? People that are like, they are loyal, like people that like whatever their niches are, they're loyal to their niches, right? So if you have a cigar community, they will buy from you just because you're a part of their community, right? They're that, and I'm like, why are you lead generating on the phone? Why are you not at like Cigar International, or why are you not at Davidoff's, or why are you not at where people smoke cigars? Why are you not taking cigar classes? Why are you not places where people are rolling cigars? These are people. She's like, well, I don't like talking sales to people. I wouldn't talk to sales. I wouldn't talk to them about real estate. I would talk to them about cigars. Here's the other part. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. They gotta like it. I feel like I don't even get to know people because everybody, they talk about real estate all the time. One of the things that I pride myself on, I never talk to people about real estate. I swear, I promise you, I never, ever, never. Well, not say never, but I've never really gone up to people and said, hey, do you want to buy a house? I would never do that because they're a person first. I'm a person first. What's your name? What do you like? Do you live around here? Like, I'm gonna ask you a whole bunch of other questions first, and I guarantee the only how real estate gonna come up is if you ask me what I do. Now, if you ask me what I do, I'm ready for it, and we're gonna go there. However, I'm not gonna go there because most people don't care. They don't need you until they need you. What do you like to do? I told somebody, I said, I feel like realtors become realtors and forget that they were people before they were realtors. If I met you before you had a real estate license and I said, hey, Farrah, right? Farrah. If I met you before you got to real estate and I said, Farrah, hey, you wouldn't have told me what you do. If I said, hey, what do you like to do? You wouldn't have said, I like to sell houses. Like, you wasn't even doing it. What was that thing that you would answer with before that? I like to travel. I generally will lead with that. I'll start talking about the places I have been. I'll start talking about the trips that I have coming up. I'll start talking about how much I'm traveling. Then you know what that says to people? When I tell people I take my mother on a trip every July and I take my kids on a trip every July. Where'd you take your mother? Oh, last year I took her to Maldives. The year before that I took her to Paris. The first thing they think is, what the hell do you do? Like, it is there. And I'm like, oh, I'm a realtor. And then this is how the conversation goes. The average realtor can't afford nothing. What kind of real estate do you do? Are you on a team? And then now I can start to have the conversation, but it was them that asked. It wasn't me. You started it. And see, what happens is we're not getting to know people because we're scarcity minded. We figure if we take the time to get to know people, we're not going to have enough time to make money. That's how you make money. The people that make the most money, they know their customers inside and out. When I tell you, like, know your customers, I want to know my customers. I'll start sharing some stuff with you while we're doing this. Hold on. So I want to pull this up. Hold on. Let me get to where I can share my screen. Hold on, guys. I want to just share my screen with you guys. Hold on. Share screen. Oh no, wrong one. Hold on. That's right. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Speaking of, okay, advanced sharing options, all participants. Oh. All right. So I'm going to share, when I say I want to know my customers very deeply, I'm going to show you guys this. So, hold on, let me get out of this. So this is I have a brand voice guide, and I paid somebody to do it. I want you to see where she put the sage. Okay. So here's my customer profile. I'm gonna try to present it. Hold on. All right. So here's my customer profile. If you look at it, my customer profile ideal, they identify as a Gen X. They're college educated, they own homes, they make between 100 to 150,000. Their employment status is they either own their business or they work at a 9 to 5. It's a man or a woman. They value knowledge and belonging above all else. They're experiencing slow sales and they're disorganized. Because they're experiencing slow sales and a disorganized back into their business. They're looking for a valuable, supportive mentor. that knows the skills and tools for more than just real estate actions, but for real estate business strategies. So when I'm speaking, when I'm creating content, when I'm writing, when I'm doing videos, I'm writing with this stuff in mind, right? Now, this girl, I can give you her website. She has like free guides and stuff on her website that are really, really good. But I'm telling you that in order to really win in marketing, you have to know your client. You have to know where they would go to eat if they had extra money. I can already tell you, my client's going to Charlie's or Cooper's Hawk. I can already tell you. You know what kind of person you like. You should think about where they shop, because people that, I mean, when you think about marketing, marketing is research. It's really researching what you need to do. And I'm talking about member integrated. So I'm talking about doing this with a prospecting strategy. So you're not just doing this and waiting long term for results. You're seeing results with these because when you start to create these magnets, people are going to click on them. You're going to get practice. And then what you're going to do is over time progressively get better at them. Does that make sense? Okay. So hold on, let me go back over here. So I just wanted to make sure we note that. Hold on. Okay. All right, let me go back to screen sharing here. Hold on. Okay. You guys can see this, right? Okay. So the next thing is going to the next slide. All right. So now we're going to talk about lead magnets. Just what are they and what do you need to do with them? So lead magnets are powerful tools used by realtors to attract potential clients, nurture relationship, and ultimately drive business growth. Lead magnets are essentially incentives. So I want you to think about it. Incentives have to be good. If I give you an incentive, I say, you know what? You signed up for this class, you got an incentive, you get a free carrot. Who cares? I don't eat carrots. I eat carrots, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a carrot. I want something that actually makes sense. So when I say, like, I have a client right now and she's doing something really cool, and I'm like, I might do that. She's doing mystery boxes. So she has an Instagram strategy. She's a coach. So if you reply to her magnets or do whatever, she sends a mystery box to one person a week. In the mystery box is mystery stuff. So like one person, but the part of it, in order to have it, you have to agree to an unboxing video on social media. So then she reshares your unboxing videos. So she said, I only pick people to get the box that have at least 50,000 followers. She said, I'm getting in front of 200,000 people a month. How cool is that? Because when she shares it in her stories, if she got 50,000 followers, I guarantee you at least 1,000 of them are going to click on her profile. Right? And I'm like, that's so cool. And then she's got sponsors to donate the stuff inside the boxes. So that when she retags the boxes, she tags the sponsors and thanks them for their contribution. I'm like, this is freaking genius. Like, how, this is what I'm saying about just thinking outside of the boxes. When she asked her to create her lead magnet, I'm thinking she's going to come with like an email list, a checklist, and stuff. She's like, I don't need mystery boxes. I was like, tell me more. So one of the girls did an unboxing. It was $100 gift card to Food Lion, which I don't know if you know, it's a grocery store. Yeah, it's a grocery store. It's a $100 gift card to Food Lion. It was a $10 Starbucks gift card. It was a Starbucks cup, and it was some coffee, like grinded coffee, but it was a Starbucks like thing. It was like a little, like a keepsake kind of thing. And it was wrapped up in a bag, and it was just the really cutest thing. And when I think about it, I said, this is an incentive to share my post, to do business with me, to bring people's awareness. And what I think that really does is now you're creating a know, like, and trust factor, because that person, by virtue of sharing your stuff, is giving you referrals, because people that trust that person now will say, well, if they shared her stuff, then they must trust her. So if I trust them, inadvertently, I can trust them. And if you know that, just look at your kids. Your kids trust who you trust. Like, seriously, that's literally how that principles work. Your clients are on through attraction marketing, same way. So now when we start talking about how to effectively use the lead magnets have to be three things. They have to be expressive of what your target audience actually wants. That's why you need market research. This girl, when we send the playback, I'll send her market research links too. So she has a like 300 page thing 300 question thing that you can use as market research. That might be a great way for you guys to start lead magnets. Get her market research and then ask 10 people to do a market research survey and give them a $5 Starbucks gift card, because they're not going to do it without getting something for it. say if 10 people agree to do mine, and they already gotta be people that's following you, if they will agree to do your market research survey, then you'll give them a $5 gift card. The market research survey will help you get the data, like what they like, what they don't like, why they like it, what they need to hear, how does sales language sound to them, how do they feel about this, that, and the third. And it's very general information, but it'll give you a composite and it spits out a customer profile for you. So you know when you're creating this stuff, who it's for. So the lead magnets also have to be high quality. Don't, like I said, don't give me a carrot. Don't tell me you're gonna give me a listing checklist, and then when I get the checklist, it's 3 things. That's not a checklist. I can't use that. Make sure it's of value, because what happens is if you tell somebody you got a high quality lead magnet and then they send you their information and they get something back that sucks, no. You have to even pitch that. Let other people see it. Like, what do you think of this? How can I make it better? Right? And then you have to promote your lead magnets effectively. You can't just post it on social media. You got to do email marketing, post it in social media groups, post it on Instagram, post it on LinkedIn. Quick video. Hey guys, I am doing market research. My goal is to be the best real estate agent in Tampa. I need to know who my customers are. I need to know what your buying habits and driving patterns are. I am willing to incentivize you for this. Here's why. You are helping me become the best realtor that I could possibly be. I'm going to leave a link in the comments with the link to do the research survey. Once you complete the survey, it's going to ask you for your email. Once you're done with that, I'm going to send you a Starbucks gift card. You can have a cup of coffee on me. Right? So now what's that saying to people? Automatically, without them even, if they don't even do the market research, what that's saying to them is, oh, Zoe's elevating her business. Oh, she's going to the next level. Here's the thing. If nobody responds, that's when you actively reach out to 10 people in your database. Hey, I need help. Can you help me with a market survey? I'm working on creating customer profiles so that I can be a better agent. I really need you to take 10 minutes to fill out this customer research survey, and I'll give you a Starbucks gift card in return. These are people that you know, like, and trust in your database, so they shouldn't have a problem with that. So then now that becomes a touch point, a way that you can touch your clients. Okay. So last thing, I think this is the second to last slide, and then I'll show you guys my stuff. The fortune is still in the follow-up. Once they have engaged with you, you cannot leave them hanging. The reason why I send emails every day, because I didn't want to do a big welcome sequence. The welcome sequences annoy me. However, I will have welcome sequences for some things. I want you to come right in and get value from day one. So that's why we send it every day, because if you join the list today, tomorrow you're going to get an email. I don't want you to wait. If I send them once a week and you join on a Monday and I only send them on Monday, you join Monday afternoon, you're not going to get an email from me till next week. Too far. The fortune is in the follow. I need you to have an email in 24 hours. And I don't want it to be a stupid welcome to my email list thing, because I got more value than that. I welcomed you when you joined, because when you click to add to the email list, it brings you to another screen. Does that make sense? Okay. So the fortune is still in the follow-up. You still have to follow up with them. You don't have to call them if they're not ready to convert. However, you do need to be sending an email, phone call, text, etc. There's services that you can have, and there's Zapier that you can use to kind of communicate between the two. So I have a service called mobile text alerts. So you can set it up where the second somebody joins your email list, if you want them to give you your phone number, that they get a text and say, you're in. I'm so excited we connected. See you tomorrow. Right? Personalized touch. It lets people know, hey, I got you. And it's automated. I love automated stuff. All right. So does everybody, before we go, everybody signed up on the email list. Everybody signed up for the replay as well, right? And Mandy's going to send it to me. So I'll be able to send it to you with the other resources. So I'll send Jamila's information with her website, as well as so I have a document, or it's kind of like a checklist, but it's 20 different lead magnets, different ways that you could use to get clients. And it gives you the pros and cons for each, right? Because some take longer to create, some you can create very quickly. All right. So let me see. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'm not sure about the sign up you're referring to, but okay. Is this QR code, Melissa? Can you just take the QR code and hit when you bring it up, there's a link that says get the replay. And then there's another link further down that has the email list. So you could use this one as well. Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, Melissa says she shot. Oh, that's 2 different Melissas. Okay, you got two different ones. Okay, perfect. All right. Last thing, and then I'll go ahead and show you my stuff. I want to stop and ask, do we have any questions? And while we're doing that, I'd like you to please fill out this evaluation. I am not a KWU instructor yet. Because every time I go places, people don't fill out the freaking evaluations, and I haven't gotten 175 yet. So if you guys could fill out this evaluation, I am about 100 away. But I would like to, I would like to be a KWU certified instructor. I really love Keller Williams. I cannot see myself being anywhere else, and I'm super excited about being it. No, seriously.
QR campaign has been stable for some reason?
What?
It does say that.
Oh,
The
okay.
QR code campaign has been disabled for some reason.
They'll
Oh.
do that if you don't pay for it.
So hold on.
They'll
No,
give you a trial, and then once you pay for
But
it.
they said thanks for scanning.
no, I'll pull it up. Hold on. I'll pull it up on my computer.
It's the press.
KWU instructor eval. Okay, hold on.
What happens when you become a KWU instructor?
You can just teach classes for them. Which I really do like to do. Hold on. I think that, and I'll share my screen with you if you guys can just copy the website. I think what it is, unfortunately, I think they don't want it on the QR code. Because when I go here, if you guys could just type that in,
What is it?
see it? Can you see it?
No, it's very
Oh, okay. So surveymonkey.com. .com / r/ capital SSLZNWB. I'm gonna write it right here. Cause I know people are like, yeah, for some reason. So surveymonkey.com.
Is it www?
Yes. So I'm gonna start at the .com / r/ capital S, capital S, L, ZNWB. So surveymonkey.com stat. Were you guys able to pull it up? Okay, good. All right. All right, so while you guys are doing that, so please do that. I'm gonna show you
Minimize that.
Was it two W's or just one at the end?
right there.
Just the one.
Oh, WV.
Oh, WB.
Yeah. You said minimize something?
That, so we can see your answers.
Oh, there you go.
You know, the pink answer.
Oh,
You got it.
yeah, hold on. That one. Oop.
Uh-oh. Go back.
Okay, there you go.
These ones.
All right, perfect.
Are you in the southeast? I thought you were in the north, Florida.
North Florida. Yeah,
What part?
North Florida. No, that's our region. I don't know why I put South.
It's Tallahassee or?
So what is it for Florida, North?
Yeah,
North
North Florida region. North Florida region.
Then type in, course not in drop down.
Yeah,
WB. You need it, sir?
What courses?
attraction marketing for realtors. All right, so now, oh, you gotta add it. Oh, yeah, course not in drop down. You gotta add it
Oh, yeah. Course not in drop down.
Attraction, marketing.
for realtors. Yeah,
Florida North.
and then I am gonna pull up my emails and things so you can see them.
Very fast. Course not in drop down. Attraction.
Main model corrects the cheesesteak.
I know, right? I know.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it
Oh,
does.
that's so cute.
I
Cheesesteak.
was putting cheesesteak going.
I know, right? It's like,
Actually, you know what? The next one you do, we'll have the sponsor bring
That would be cute.
She got things right. Okay,
That's
so
good.
can you guys, okay, good, can you see my screen? Okay, good. All right. Let me see. how-
You missing on the list.
Yeah, it's not.
No, you gotta add
Go
it.
down and add it, like you did to the right.
You gotta add it.
All the way
I
down.
don't like how they doing you.
Yeah, I know. Listen, so they won't even put you in there until you have at least, I wanna say it's 175 reviews. Literally, I have literally taught over 100 classes. I don't even have 100 reviews. And I'm like, everybody says they're gonna do it, but then they don't. It's okay.
Oh, so you're making sure this time.
Yeah, and listen, I said, I'm gonna make sure this time. So let me show you an example of, a lead magnet. So, we have, so I use Flowdesk, so that's what I use to send my emails. Command does send the same emails. Only reason I use Flowdesk, however, is because I really, I like how I want things to look a certain way. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like, the ones in Command are not pretty enough, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me show you, an example of a lead magnet. Like, um, So, let's see,
Is it Coleman?
huh?
Coleman?
Nope, Cheesette Cowan, Cowan.
Yep, she got it there. She go all the way to the bottom.
And yeah,
Add it.
scroll all the way to the bottom. And then, my name is Cheesette Cowan, Cowan.
Thanks, Mandy.
All right. Thank you, Mandy. All right, so I'm trying to show you this thing. All right. So here's one of the emails that, oh, hold on, I'm sorry. That's just gonna show you the stats of it. Hold on, I wanna show you the actual email. So here's one of the, so I started selling digital products. So here's one of them. So I tell people the easiest way to get into attraction marketing is newsletters. That's the easiest and lowest barrier of entry.
It's what?
So newsletters. You should be sending a newsletter to your client database every month. It's just an easy way to engage your database. And it's an easy way to send it to everybody at once, right? So remember I told you, just keep in mind that realtors are my clients. So the same way you would generate stuff with buyers and sellers, I'm doing that with realtors. So here in the newsletters, here I say newsletters are my secret weapon in client conversion. They keep me top of mind and ready to seal the deal. By sending monthly newsletter, I'm able to nurture leads and convert them into loyal clients. It's a super easy way to connect, educate, and engage my database. I recorded a short 4-minute video about how you can start sending newsletters today. And now when you go here, it brings you to the video.
Excited to
And then
share with
in the
you
video,
something that we're offering as an exclusive to our CEO community.
and
What
then,
we don't realize when we fail to communicate with our database systematically is we're losing the opportunity to stay top of mind.
so then now, when you go into the, oh wait, hold on, I'm sorry, let me go back to that email. Okay, so now when you go here, you can create your own newsletter, or you can do my Canva newsletter template for $9. So now, that's an additional stream of income, because I'm selling them for $9. If 100 realtors buy them, that's an extra $900. If I'm selling an extra 100 a week, that's an extra $3,600 a month. What are we doing? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why not create a buyer guide so good that you sell it for $100 and don't think you can't? Because if you got the expertise and the time to put something together, and that's something you could do with sweat equity, you could go and repurpose a lot of the stuff. This is why I love KW. A lot of the stuff we already have, you could just literally repurpose it, right? And they have and when you start to have stuff like these are the ways that people now, even if they don't buy my database, I have now given them an opportunity to communicate with their database a lot better. So here's the other thing too. Let's go into another one. Let me show you this. Hold on.
So you go to, cause I was finished doing the survey, so you going to,
So I have Flowdesk. I use Flowdesk to send my emails.
okay, and then you create just a video from like YouTube,
Yep.
and then That thing where it says created from Canva, where did that pop up at, or where do you do that?
Oh, that I created the resource in Canva and then I made it a template.
Oh, okay, okay.
But, oh, let me show you this one, cause I did not do this one. And I don't know if it'll do it with me on my email, but I'll try. Let me show you this. So when you click on this, you can buy my email or $9. So then what it brings you to is this, you gotta pay for it before you get it. Once you pay for it, it automatically starts to download.
Who helped you do this?
My marketing assistant. But you can do this, because here's the thing. This is, PayPal can give you a form like this. You can use it the same way. And the thing about these things are, you can also, if you're not charging them, you could just put them on a Google form. Have you guys used Google Forms before? Okay, so Google Forms are the easiest way to do forms. The easiest way. Because literally, and rather than show you guys, when I send the videos back to you, I'll send that training on the Google form. Because I just literally, it's a training that I did for my database and I walked them through how to create lead magnets, because I want to make sure you're setting stuff up that when you wake up, I want you to wake up and say 5 people clicked on your leads for more information. See, when you wake up with 5 people that you can call first because they opted in, your confidence is different. You're starting your day different. You starting your day like, oh, they checking for me and I ain't even up yet. Like, you just go into the day different versus, oh my God, who am I gonna call today? What are they gonna say? What are they gonna have an attitude or whatever? Like, even if you follow that time up with your lead generation calls, your lead generation time will be more effective. Right? Because
Is this stuff you can do through command as well?
yes, you can absolutely do it through command. The reason why I do not do it through command is command doesn't have enough automation for me. And when I say automation for me, like, command doesn't have a checkout feature, right? Like, I could send this email, but I can't make it look to match my brand. It's gonna be like KW colors. I don't want that. But I
Typically
send,
with command in the beginning, and
yes.
you send out, if they click on it, you get all their information.
Yeah, but this is what I was gonna say. Everything that I do for my clients, like real estate buyer, seller clients, everything I do through command. This is my coaching company. So totally different thing. Command is for real estate sales. So if you're using it to generate real estate business, you should absolutely use command. You can work Flowdesk and MailChimp, both integrate with command. So you can use, like, you can use MailChimp and still send it through command. It'll just send it through MailChimp. So they integrate together. So yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna tell you what you guys gotta do. You guys gotta learn the KW systems and models. A lot of stuff that I'm talking about, I learned. All I did was take it from the KW side and bring it to my coaching business side. This is all stuff that exists. I can't understand or believe how many people are a part of KW that don't know the systems and models. Only reason I'm here is for the systems and models. That's the only reason I came to KW.
Show them on command, how
Yes.
you send out an email.
Yes. Oh, of course. All right. So this is one. We'll come back to that. So hold on, let me go here. So with command, where is it? So there's a few different ways that you could do it. So you could actually do social media campaigns through command. So you could set up your whole lead magnet and start it through command. So here's the thing with command, and I'll show you. If you look at paid ads, just so, hold on. Where's my dashboard? Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, this is my wrong profile. Okay. So when you go into paid ads, and then you go into, if you look at these, so these are ads that I paid for, like through command. But this one is $15.43, but we got 19 leads. 51 cents a lead, 27 leads, 93 cents a lead, 17 leads. We got $1.46 a lead. And 2 of these leads actually turned into purchases. So that means I was able to double side my listings from these ads. And I only spend $25 a week on command ads. And I'm saying that we eat $25 a week. So these are just ads on listings that your market center has. And you can, and literally when they click on them, they come right into command. And you guys, have you ever used the landing pages in command? When you go to open houses, you guys don't use the landing pages? Okay, all right, let me show you this. Hold on. So if you go, Uh-huh.
Like your landing page, like your.
No, you could create a landing page for your listing. So hold on, let me show you. Yeah, you can create a landing page for your listing. So let me show you this one. So, hold on. The consumer. No, hold on. The landing. Your command has, when I tell you so much stuff, I can't, they move so much stuff around. I just really can't take it. But they have a landing page feature and we use them for our listing. So when we get a listing, sometimes we'll buy the domain. Like if it's 123 Main Street, we'll create a landing page in Command. Command has a capture form. So when I do open houses, I don't do paper signups. I do the landing page, which has information on the property, and then I let the information in there. Soon as they come into my database, they go on SmartLook. There's automations in Command that I have for all of my real estate clients. So my real estate business is totally on autopilot. And it's all
They
through
click on
Command.
it, the information, all
Yes.
it automatically goes into the smart plan where they get.
Yep, so
emails.
like, does somebody have their email open? Okay, I'm gonna just use my name, Cheesette Apollo. All right, who has their email open? What's your
It's
email?
very short.
What's yours?
Kin,
Uh-huh, Jin,
LU,
LU. Oh, how cute. But it look, it look. All right, and then what's your phone number?
813,
Uh-huh.
325, 968.
Okay, so now look what happens. So I put lead source, I just put anything. But under tags, so I buy leads from Dave Ramsey, right? So when I put tag, I'll just put where is it? Oh, hold on. Wrong. I gotta do this again. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait, I don't copy your phone number. Hold on. I forget Command. That's why I can't find it. Command has a personal side and a team side. I gotta have everything in my team side. All right, JIN at KW.com. All right, so JIN, and I'll just delete you when I finish. All right, so when I hit agent, then when I hit tag, I hit ELP, and then I'll just put new ELP seller, and I hit create. Now what happens is, if you hit refresh, and you go to smart plans, sometimes it takes a second, but she's gonna automatically get added to a smart plan, just based on the lead source. So when we have like different lead sources, they come in and they go right to all of my all of my smart plans are 3 months, 6 months, and then they go from like quarter to quarter. So it'll go from one smart plan to another. Y'all using the smart plan library? Yeah, yeah.
It's just so large.
Okay.
Overwhelming.
Okay, so maybe it might be really good to have like a class, and I might do it with KW agents where we just go over all the stuff we already have. Cause I just realized, I'm like, y'all not using.
Different watching you do it than our tech trainer because you're actually, we can actually see you have dropped $15 and you got this down the leads. You know, when you're.
'Cause she's not using it.
Production, it's a little different. So that, I would love it if you came back and did a.
Oh,
command
absolutely. So let me just show you this one though. I'll return home and I'll just show you this girl. So this girl is, so she's a friend now, I would say. So she was a cold call. So if you look, I cold called her for 2 years, every month for 2 years. I had one guy list his house with me. I cold called him every month for 4 years. He said, I'm gonna list my house with you because I want you to leave me the hell alone. I said, I'm fine. However it plays out, it plays out. But if you look, I met her in
A win is a win.
a win is a win. So look at this though.
Oh my.
This is March 22nd, 2021. I just want you to understand that when you start thinking about how to connect with people, people are people first. They don't care about what you need to sell. They care about what's important to them. They don't need real estate until they need real estate. Before that, They just need to be they need you to be interested in them as a person. So I called her on this day, called her, this is March 2nd, 2021. Happy Sunday, sent her a text, connect with her. One day, I finally connected. Now, mind you, I'm just texting.
Is this you or an assistant?
No, this is actually me. So this is
Really?
before the assistant. So I called her and I was able to reach her. I sent her a text and just said thank you. And then she reached back and said, question for you. I'm working, so if I don't respond right away, remember I told you when they say they're working, I'm understanding of that. We have to remember that life is happening for them just like it's happening for us. I got kids, I understand it. So she reached back and she said, my neighbor just said they sold their house, they got like 344. They have their house next to mine in the same street. Why I'm telling you this is because this is in 2021. I didn't talk to her again until 2022 at the end of the year. But I still kept calling her, texting her. After I had this conversation, I sent a handwritten card to her house. Guys should all be doing that. You should be at least sending 10 a week, 2 a day. If you have meaningful conversations with people, follow it up with an email. Follow it up with a handwritten note. And then 7 days later, call them to make sure they got the note. Because guess what you did? You just contacted them 3 times in less than a week. They're going to remember you now. And I have a name, thankfully, that works for me. And I always joke with people when they say, what's your name? Cheesette. Don't worry, I'll tell you how to spell it, and you're never going to hear it again. It's cheese and then TTE. So what I'm saying is I'm already teaching them to remember me, right? However, it's small things that you do that no other realtor is going to do that will help you win the business. So this is me texting, calling. She talked about getting a rental and that she's been a homeowner. So then what happened was we ended up listing her house. I helped her find another house. Her mom died. I sold her dad's house because her dad couldn't live by himself. We had to sell the house that she bought, sell his house. They had to buy a house together. She referred me to her coworker. I sold his house, helped him buy a new house. He referred me to another coworker, sold their house and bought another house. Now, why am I telling you this? I want you to see this because when I tell you that I really take time to build relationships, if you don't remember anything else, write this down. I've never sold a thing in my life. I have conversations with people. I find out what they need and then I help them get it. That's what I do for a living. I don't sell stuff. I have conversations with people. I find out what they need and then I help them get it. That's my job. That's your job. We're not salespeople. We are salespeople. We know that. However, to my clients, I never want I don't want my client to use the term salesperson with me. I'm going to use that because I understand it. They don't understand it. I need to, remember I said everything is going to be framing. You always have to frame everything for everybody. These are the parameters. So now when you go to, I'm going to show you this. Emily, I'm just going to type in her whole name because if I don't, it will do something weird. Okay, so now, I believe it'll pull up all the photos. Okay, so now if you look at, let's see, photos posted by you. Okay, hold on. Where is she at? Okay, so this is her at my vow renewal last year. She wasn't dating when we first met her. She got a boyfriend now. This is her at my vow renewal, right?
At your what?
At my vow renewal. I renewed my vows 2 years ago. This is her at my vow renewal, right? Like literally, the reason why I'm showing you that is because when you focus on building relationships, you get to know people organically. Do you know why I liked her? Because when I used to talk to her, she said, I'm working so hard. I'm a single mom. I have 2 boys. I'm all they have if I don't work. I resonate with that. I told you at the core of my values, like marginalized people, moms, I believe are some of those people. I connect with moms. I already know hands down. If people have children, I'm going to connect with them, right? Because it really matters to me. So then now when you start to look at, huh? No, seriously. But I wanted to show you this picture. But I told her, I said, listen, she's a mail lady. This girl will go through the mail route. She called me. She said, somebody on my mail route was looking to sell their house. She's right here. Take the phone, give it to her. I'm like, girl, I love you. Like, what I'm saying is you have to get people to speak for you when you're not in the room. You're not in enough rooms. Remember, the prospecting is filling your cup. You can fill a cup. You can't fill an ocean. You have got to go out and create, Dave Ramsey calls them raving fans. You've got to go out and create raving fans. And the only way you're going to do that is through attraction marketing, giving them value up front so they have something to rave about. How can I rave about you when you ain't giving me nothing to rave about? But now if you give me a killer 10-step process to buying a house, and it, like I told you, it got videos on every step, handouts, checklists. When somebody says I'm thinking about buying a house, do you think that person is not gonna be like, oh, you need to talk to Zoe? Zoe sent me a resource, and let me tell you, I feel so educated, right? And then now they can start to speak for you. That's another part. Attraction marketing. If you notice, a magnet never tries to attract things. It just exists. Anything that's around it that has the like matter does what? If the magnet is here and I bring a key here, the magnet ain't saying, hey, key, I'm right here. Hey, key, come do business. All the magnet is doing is just doing what the magnet does. The key is the one that's going to come closer and closer. And after a while, the pull is going to bring the key to the magnet, not the magnet to the key. Right? Okay. So hold on, let me show you this because this is my favorite picture. That's why I kind of want you guys to see it. Well, look, so this is another picture of them at my vol renewal, but you're gonna laugh at this post because this is what I told her. So y'all remember? Wait, where is it? Hold on, she's got a lot of bad pictures. She's this like the weirdest person I know. Like she likes goats and ducks and just like snakes and like she just does weird stuff. So this is us. So we went to the Whitney thing. We dressed alike, we planned it and everything. And people said, oh, she's a client. All of my clients are like that. All of them. They literally just become like that. And I said, why is that? You know why? Because I'm not selling them. I'm being myself. They really get to know me. Some of them like me, some of them don't. All of them don't like me, but some of them do. Right? So she's one of them that really likes me. But then I put this funny post up, and this is the one I wanted to show you. Do y'all remember? And I know we're done, so if you guys gotta go, I'm done. I'm just showing you guys some of the stuff that I talked to you about. I told you when I know how people are, and this is us again at brunch. Mind you, this is a cold call. I didn't know this girl before we kind of talked on a cold call. But how I know what I'm doing well is your clients should know something about you. When you meet them, if they don't already know something about you, you're going to have to sell them. I want you to already know who I am, what I stand for, what I value, so that when you come into my world, it's understood how we're connected. I don't like to sell stuff to people. I want to just figure out what they need. So when you take the time to get to do that, it doesn't feel like sales. Because remember, you're going to have to sell. I'm not saying you're going to have to pick up the phone. If you're a realtor and you don't know how to pick up the phone and get sales, I feel sorry for you. Because if something ever happens to social media, etc., you need to be able to pick up the phone and connect with people. However, when you have an integrated marketing strategy, you're going to have prospecting and marketing. KW is prospecting base. We're going to build the platform, our business being prospecting base. And prospecting to me is like conversations. What am I going to say to people? And then now we're going to be marketing enhanced. I'm going to take my prospecting to the next level with marketing. But where is this post? Hold on, you got to see this. This is the funniest thing, but I'll tell you what it is if I don't find it. I told her, you remember when Carisha took, she said, we go together, like real bad.
Mhm.
So I made a post and I told her, she said, are we friends now? I said, no, we go together. I said, we're together. Anytime you mention real estate, like you're me. And this is how I know. I have clients that I have not talked to in 3 years. When they get ready to sell, they still call. Only thing they get is the email marketing every month. I call them every quarter. I send them birthday cards. I send them Christmas cards. How many of your friendships function like that? Because we grown. I'm busy. So what I'm saying is I don't have clients that I talk to all the time. But I always remember their birthdays. I always remember their Christmas. I always remember their kids and what their kids are doing. And while I'm pulling this up, I'll tell you this. I do different things to see how things play out. There was a young girl, a girl. She was she has $1 million house. Now, my cousin is a pediatrician, so I know that she's a pediatrician. I know that she's finishing up her residency. I know that she's going to be moving, but I know she's going to need to sell that house to move. So I decided I wanted to sell the house, right? I'm like, I'm going to sell the house. That's just it. I don't even know the girl. So Keisha said, well, she's getting ready to finish her residency. I said, okay. Her daughter is special needs. Her daughter has a wheelchair. Her daughter is in a soccer league for kids with wheelchairs. So I saw her post a picture of her daughter in the soccer league. I saw the name on the shirt. I called the soccer league. And I said, hey, I have a special needs client. I'm just trying to get more information on your services. Like, how does it work? And he was like, oh, we just started the cohort. He's like, we're already done. We're getting ready to finish in about 6 weeks. And then you can sign your daughter up. I said, can you send me some information? All I did was put them in my vendor database. I have a vendor database. You should all have a vendor database. The vendor database is anything your clients need, you should have it. My clients call me for hairdressers, churches, and you know what I'm doing? Training them. Anytime you got a question about anything, ask Cheesette. Because I don't want you asking other people questions about anything. You want to know what church, I got babysitters, hair braiders, churches, pastors, counselors, whatever you need. It's in my vendor database. And I'm going to show you guys that. So I got at least another half an hour. But listen, so I asked, when was the championship game? He told me. I followed them. They made it to the championship. At the championship game, I sent a bear. I found a bear that it was in a volleyball tournament for special needs in a wheelchair. How cool is that? I sent that to the daughter and I sent flowers to the mother and I had them delivered to the site where the game was. Gave the gift to the daughter, put it in a box, but gave it to the mother. And I said, in a world where everybody has limitations, it's nice to see a mother raising a daughter that has none. I said, kudos to you, Cheesette. Didn't give my card, didn't say call me about real estate. Do you think my phone didn't ring the next day? It was her. She was like, that was so thoughtful. Thank you. Now, I'm not even joking. It was not, it was a heartfelt thing. I wasn't doing it just to get the listing. However, it was like market research. I wanted to see how it moved her. So she was like, well, she was like, you're a realtor, right? I was like, I am. And I was like, but I just saw the post with you and your daughter. I said, I know we have a friend in common. I said, I know you work with my cousin Keisha. I said, but I was so moved. I didn't even know they have volleyball like tournaments and stuff for kids and with special needs. But I think and genuinely, I told the mom in me, like I'm marveled at a woman that could be in medical school, have a special needs daughter, have the time to put her special needs daughter in stuff, still be a wife, and she cute and she still look good. You know what I'm saying? I admire that. I'm like, girl, like kudos to you. Like your whole life is goals. Like I love it. And she was like, I just want to thank you for that. And she was like, you know, a lot of people see that, but they don't really see like the behind the scenes stuff. I said, that's why I said that I know the behind the scenes stuff. I know it. And I said, I just want to, you know, just thank you and just continue to be inspiring, whatever. And she was like, I know you may not know this. She's like, but we're considering transferring. She said, we probably will be listing our house soon. She said, we already have a realtor. However, I can assure you this, when we get ready to sell, we will at least interview you. That's all I want. I just want an opportunity, right? And what I'm saying is I took the real estate out of it. She bought the real, I didn't attach a business card and say Cheesette Cowan Realtor, and I couldn't anyway because I ordered it from somewhere and they delivered it, but I wouldn't have done that anyway. But I'm saying take the real estate out of it and realize that you're talking to a person. Relationships. Gary Keller said something that was so profound at Mega Camp last year. He said, if you win the relationship, you don't have to worry about the business. We get into real estate and forget we're people. We just become sales robots. Like, and then they never get to meet who you are, never get to see the magic is you. You teach Mandarin. Instead of, to me, and I'm just giving you guys just some ideas, I would create a Mandarin English class. Every client that send their kid to that class is your lead. 1 hour a week. 1 week we do it here, you can do it right here in this room. 1 week we do it on Zoom. What I'm saying is if you get 15 people to sign up, you have 15 leads without ever having to pick up a phone. You never have to pick up a phone. You're doing something, you already been doing it. You already know how to teach that. Whatever you were teaching, teach it at a basic level, and I'm sure they would love it. And that becomes the way to interact with people organically. They're going to ask you about your background. Oh, you're a realtor, but you teach? Then you get to tell them, oh, I was a teacher. I'm really an educator. I really teach because X, Y, and Z. I'm very passionate about kids. Real estate is just the source that funds my life. And then now they're going to say, wow, I really like Jenny. Like, she's really a nice person. And she's over here doing this. Like, do you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest? Does that make sense? That's how you attract people to you. You put out stuff of value that they can start to see who you are. I don't know how, I told you, I feel like people get a real estate license and they just forget who they were before that. I was a mom, I was a wife, I love to travel. I had a whole life before real estate. And I'm not gonna forget that part of my life because I'm trying to find clients. I want to especially those things that still resonate with me, I want to help that part of my life come out so that people that see themselves, people do business with people where they can see themselves, right? And what I'm saying is people that have your same background, they might be wanting to be entrepreneurs and you would never know. And then they come into your presence and they see not only are you an entrepreneur, but you're teaching too. That's inspiration. So then what's going to happen is, can I have a conversation with you privately? Yeah, I wanted to start a business for a long time. I just don't really have the motivation. How'd you do it? Well, it was hard, but I didn't like teaching. So I decided to make a decision for me. And then now further deepen in the connection. If you guys know anything about that, really, if I could give you one piece of advice before we leave, you guys are part of a company that has systems and models for a reason. The reason why we are the number one brokerage is because we're not just a brokerage, we are a training brokerage. Tap into the resources in your KWU and command center. Like, don't go reinventing the wheel trying to use other things. Start with what you have. And then your next level may be something else, but start by using what you have. I think the travesty that happens in real estate is we have stuff in our house. And I see it all the time. We do it all the time. Just think about it. This is what it looks like. We got $1,000 worth of groceries in the house. And yet we are out back. Why? When we got food in the house, we're so busy trying to get customers out there. I guarantee you got 5 customers in your database right now. If you using a database. Everybody in here using a database, right? Systematically, like really using it, like communicating with it, adding value to it. Okay. All right. Ooh, okay. Because I get nervous when I hear people say they're not doing that. Because I'm like, then what are you doing? Because if I was to buy your business, remember I told you I sell businesses. If I was to buy your business, the only thing I'm buying is the data that it has. If you don't have a database, you should be setting your business up like a Fortune 500 company to sell. All right. So let me show you guys. Okay. Let me see. Did you get an email from me yet?
No.
Okay. Hold on.
You said you were gonna share how to do open houses differently?
Yes. So one of the things with open houses, when you are door knocking, so I'll just put you on the smart plan. Hold on, I don't know what happens. Hold on. ELP. All right. So with open houses, I was telling her that one of the worst things you can do is door knock in the neighborhood and say, I have an open house. Can you come by? Like, who cares? We don't care about your open house. We don't care whether you sell it or not. It has nothing to do with me as a buyer, as a seller or a buyer when you knock on my door. That's your business. So my thing is, if you frame it like I promised my client that I would knock on the door to people in the neighborhood and get them feedback from at least 10 of the neighbors on how they could best position their house to sell in the marketplace. I have a link for a survey that I'd like you to fill out. Can I please get 5 minutes of your time? Can you stop by Saturday at the open house and just give me some feedback?
And when you're asking for the feedback, it's just about the presentation of the home.
But really, I
yeah.
really just want your name, phone number, and email to email you the surveys, and I'm gonna follow up with you later. So when I tell you like the reason why our database grows the way it does is because most of the people that are in our database didn't come there from real estate. They came there from something else. So when I say they came there from something else, so I do like a lot of like Bible studies and stuff for women. When I meet them, I offer to put them in my database. I ask them, can I put them in my database? And I know that they're not looking for real estate, but I tag them differently and I just send them a monthly newsletter because they didn't reach out about real estate, but I still want to be able to call them every quarter and say, by the way, how are you? Do you have any real estate needs? Right. And then if the conversation shifts, I can put them on a different smart plan. Does that make sense? Remember, connect with people around common interests and values, not real estate. Nobody connects with people about real estate except weirdos. People, no, seriously, people, I don't know anybody. I mean, like when I say weirdos, like investors, right? Like if you talk to investors, they want to connect with you. Like they're gonna like, but the average person, they don't even know they're gonna buy until they get ready. So when you say, can I put you in my database so I can keep you abreast of market? No, we're not looking to sell. But they don't even know. And then what happens is something like we're loosely in the market. When I say loosely in the market, like we're in the market. If we see something we like, we'll pull the trigger, but we're not actively looking. But guess what will happen? If we see something and we pull the trigger, we do need to sell quick. And that's literally just how it goes. Like, people are not even looking, the husband shoots the wife a text, she's like, oh my God, I love this house, let's put it in an offer. We gotta hurry to get our home on the market. If they don't know you, they're not gonna call you. And then what's gonna happen is they're gonna click on Zillow, and they're gonna get some realtor that has no integrity, no character, does not know how to run a business, and then you could have been the one that been helping them. Because what'll happen is, everybody also in my database is on a My Neighborhood Nurture. If they're a seller, you need their address, and they need to be on a My Neighborhood Nurture. I can't tell you how many, like, let me show you this lady, Karen, what is her name? Karen somebody. I know. Karen Tyler, that's her name. Let me see. Yep, okay. So look at this. So she gets a My Neighborhood Nurture, right? Now she's closed. We closed her out. But this was, so if you look, let me see. We go down to the bottom. All right, so we at the bottom. So now mind you, a lot of people in my database I don't call. So this is Neighborhood Nurture Source. So she's a bought lead, so she just went in here. So it came back as error. And then she gets a bi-weekly neighborhood update, text. This is almost 6 months. She ain't never respond, nothing. And then you get this. I'm looking to sell my condo in Temple Terrace. Pick up the phone. I was like, as soon as I saw and I have a VA. So he texted me, he was like, she's looking to sell. So I was like, okay, I may have a buyer. I actually did in that area. I said, I'd love to discuss it with you tomorrow sometime. She said, okay, I should be available around 1. And I called her, we set up the appointment. I'm meeting her on Thursday. Looking forward to seeing you Thursday at 1. I sent her the listing stuff, and then we set up the photography, and we went to meet with her at 1, and we got her listed. She had to do some repairs. So maybe Monday, not sure. We had the painting on, so she had the painter coming out. And in less than 3 weeks from the time she responded to an email on the Neighborhood Nurture. It's a bi-weekly email that automatically goes out. I'm not touching it. I wouldn't have called her. And only how I'm calling her is if she raised her hand and say, I'm ready to go. Then I'm gonna pick up the phone. Leads that I buy, they just go in and they go straight up the smartphone. I only nurture leads that I actually put in. If they, like, my VAs just put them in, put them on smartphone. Because remember, it's a C. I'm only filling my cup. I only focus on the cup. The C is just filled, it's on its own. So all My Neighborhood Nurture, everybody should be on that. And then you'll see a lot of times they'll respond to that, because it's just an evaluation email. And a lot of times they'll respond and say, how much do you think I could get for the property? That's all you need. That's an indication that they're ready. Right now, the conversations are different. So that's why, you guys, we do need to have a class where we're starting to show you guys, these are all resources that you pay for every month with your monthly office bill. I want y'all to know that. Y'all paying for it.
Yeah, and then the paid ads, I've done it, where
Yeah.
I pay for a Facebook ad, but if I pay for it through Command, it gets much better. First of all, I get the lead.
Well, you only do it through Command. I would
Yeah.
never do a paid Facebook ad on Facebook, because Keller Williams is the only company that has the authority to advertise actual houses on Facebook. So you wouldn't get that pull because nobody could click on a house. The reason why we get better ads, because they can see a house and click on it. All other real estate companies can only post themselves, their visual. They can't actually post an address.
That's true. I've never heard that.
Yes, it's true. They can post a house. Like I can make a post with a house, but the address, like in an ad, like a sponsored ad with an actual address, no.
They're not allowed to do that.
No. It's an exclusive partnership with KW.
Wow.
Why we don't work? I never knew it.
I never knew that either.
Do we have tech calls every week for KWRI? Why y'all not on the tech calls? They did tech to halls. They did 6 hours of just explaining all the techs that we have. All the tech stuff that we have.
Every week on, you just go to KWRI.
Yes, so they have them, so hold on, KWU. I don't know about KWRI. Hold on.
All the information. that
Keller
is-
Williams University. Hold on.
It's like, what are we doing? What have we been doing?
All right, so when you go to
Well,
Keller,
you have to remember, she's been
Well,
a pre-C
yeah,
coach, so she
and I-
knows
yeah.
everything.
and I, yeah,
Most
right.
don't
So
know.
as the PC coach, I had to coach the agents on this stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff I had to sit in and learn. So when you go to KW, well, hold on, this is not KW command. Hold on. All right, so when you go to KW and you go to resources training, instructor-led trainings, but when you go to leader tech classes, agent tech classes, when you click on them, these are the tech classes that they have here now. But when you go into training and resources, what is it? Oh, hold on. They have classes like every week. So here, this is for command. So I'm ready to learn. I need to, I'm ready to set up my KW app. I'm running into a technical issue. I need command training our teams. But then when you click here, it'll ask you what you want to do. I want to, do whatever. Then they have like live training. They have live weekly trainings back here. So KW Connect should be like where you're at, like a lot. When I tell you a lot, like a lot. There is so many things here that will really help you. And then you can go here, FYI, and let's just say, what I say, smart plans, how to use smart plans. And then this is what I love about it. So when you hit how to use smart plans, it's going to, oh God, hold on. Let me just put in smart, okay. So when you go here, if you go like, these are actual trainings. So people can post stuff. A lot of the agents are doing trainings and posting them in here, and they're freaking good. I sat in on an agent training. I don't know who she was, but she was somewhere out of West Virginia, and she talked about how to use reviews for your business, like Google reviews. Oh, ever since then I've been getting Google reviews. I get 4 reviews per transaction, and what that does is it bumps your visibility up on Google.
Doesn't it just seem like there's so much out there for agents?
It is.
And it's just overwhelming.
This is why.
And KW has a ton of stuff, but then you got all the people you follow on YouTube. And
This is why you need a business plan, and why your business plan should have an activity plan. You should only be lead generating by 4 sources. So when I say 4 sources, I cold call, agent referrals, social media, and that's it. I don't, and then now I have my YouTube, that's just started. And when I say YouTube, it's a separate strategy from everything else. I don't get clients any other way. I don't do open houses because I can't, I got kids. Like the open houses was the most stressful thing to me. Like, cause I had to always find a babysitter, and then I had babysitters cancel. And then like one time I had 6 kids, and the girl was supposed to come watch the kids. She didn't come. I wasn't bringing them 6 kids to the open house. If it was 1, maybe I didn't go. So I stopped doing them because I'm like, I'm stressed. Like when I started real estate, my daughter was like 1. I couldn't stressed about like I couldn't do that. So what I did was I did open houses during the week from 1 to 3 on Thursdays. Right. And then I would just appeal to the work crowd. You just gotta think outside of the box. Just think about where you're trying, the result you're trying to get to, and reverse engineer your way there from backward to forward, and figure out how to do more of the things that you actually like. Like I could talk to people all day. Open houses, only how I like open houses because it allows me free time to cold call. I would prefer to go to open houses where nobody comes, but maybe 1 person. So I got free time to call. So that when I did open house, the reason why I did them from 1 to 3, because my husband worked nights, so he would stay home with the kids during the day. It just meant 2 free hours of time to call. So I would pick the open houses that had been in the market for 130 days because I knew nobody was coming in there. And then I had 2 hours because I couldn't get no calls done at home.
Right.
It was just 2 hours of free time. And my husband, if I say I need a cold call because you keep the kids, he'd be like, yeah. And then 5 minutes later, the kids in the room. That don't work. If I say I got an open house, I'll be back. Now we couldn't. Like I had literally like y'all know how y'all guys do. It's like, but we got our tactics too. Like we know what to do to get where we need to be. So I would say I'm gonna do an open house, and I was doing them every week, but it was really just for cold call. I see agents that I'm so mad nobody came to my open house. Don't be mad, get on the phone.
Right.
You should go to every open house with a list of people that you're gonna call and follow up with. If you're not calling people, create lead magnets.
Do videos.
Yes,
Social media videos.
Yes. All right, guys. Did you get some value out of this today?
Yes, you did. A lot of value.
Yay. Thank you guys for having me. This has been fun. Wait, we got people on Zoom. Hey, Zoom land. Let me cut this off on my side. Did you guys have any questions? I feel like we didn't get to any of your questions. Hold on, Melissa I need to schedule a time to my open house I have this Saturday. Yes, Melissa LaRosa. Yeah, okay, hold on. Melissa LaRosa, Melissa Conway. Thank you, Melissa Conway. Yes, Melissa Rosa. We had a girl, I'm telling you, there's a girl. Her name is, I don't know her name, it's Tara something. But she gets, 6 listings a month from open houses. And she uses open houses to get listings. And she has a phenomenal system. She door knocks, however, she door knocks for the leads. Like she came and taught in our market center. She said she did 100 listings from open houses. I said, you got them all from open houses? She said, I don't want the buyer. But her open houses are like Disney. Like when I say Disney, like I said, how long does it take you to prepare for an open house? She said about 10 hours. No. She has a lender at the open house and she has a station for information on the house. She has the iPad stations, you know, like for information on the house. She has a babysitter at the open house. Like, I'm just like, what? She's like, no, it's a production. Like, it's an event. She only does one a month though. She's like, because it's so much goes into it. She only does them certain times, certain places, certain listings. Like, she's like, I know what I'm looking for to give me. Like, she won't do it if it's been on the market for more than 3 days. Like, if it has had a weekend of showings already. Like, you get what I'm saying? And she brings the lender there to pre-qualify buyers. She brings a credit repair specialist. She brings 6 people to the open house with her. They all door knock together. And she's like, we are able to collectively get 50 leads for every open house as it qualify leads. And I'm like, wow. And she said that's her only form of lead generation. But she has it together. I hate all this.
All the people behind the window, I'm not in.
But guess what? Oh, let me tell you why open houses are good. Those are people, if they're there, they're interested. You kind of just know that they're interested. Now you just got to nurture them and build a relationship with them. Well, I appreciate you guys, huh?
What market center you say?
New Tampa. Yeah, and I was the PC coach until January.
Thank you.
I loved it there. Thank you, guys.
Right, yeah, that's good.
Huh?
Who trains your new team member?
Me. Well, we have, I have a lead buyer's agent, so she trains the buyers, I train them with sellers. Nobody, for some reason, I got a bunch of buyer's agents. Nobody wants to do leads. Nobody wants to do listings. Let me tell you why. Because listings require, the hardest part about this lawsuit is gonna be, buyer's agents have never had to negotiate their commissions. They're just not skilled in it.
Right.
Listing agents, we skilled at negotiating our commission. We skilled at showing you our value and getting you to pay us. Buyer's agents are not. So what's gonna happen with this new lawsuit, when your properties don't have a commission, buyer's agents just ain't gonna show. They're not gonna call you and say, could you pay me? See, I'll pick up the phone. I was so happy when the lawsuit came. I love the lawsuit. Why? What? Why? Consumerism. That's why. Prior to this lawsuit, I could only get 3%. Do you know what my new strategy is? I'm showing my clients houses that have been on the market for 130 days. I'm sending you a full price offer and I'm asking for 5%. Either you want it or you don't. And it's consumerism. It ain't a crime anymore. Pay me or you don't get this house. What you want to do? You've been on the market for 130 days. You tell your client that you got a full price offer. The only thing is they have 5%, so you can't get it. And then what you tell your client at that point, you should have attached 3% to it up front, and then they wouldn't have been able to ask for 5%, but you didn't. So now I'm asking. I'm excited about it because I'm about to get paid.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. About to get paid.
So whenever they don't offer commissions, that's when you hit them with the, all right.
Yeah, because
Price offer, but I want 5% commission.
I have the ability to, my client signs an addendum saying I have the ability to negotiate my professional fee.
And you know it's gonna come. So
And what I'm saying is, who said they
You
gotta,
have your buyers sign that?
we have to. My brokerage requires us to now.
Huh.
We have to have an addendum from our buyers saying that they give us permission to negotiate our professional fee with the seller.
So it's like a buyer broker agreement.
It is the buyer broker agreement and it has an addendum attached to it.
So
And
you
they-
fill out the regular agreement.
And then on the
Then the
extra
addendum.
page, no, it's part of it. It's on the last page of the buyer broker agreement in the extra additional terms. And it says that, you give us permission to negotiate our commission with the sellers. Now, what I like about that is, everybody was like, oh, well, that's great. And I said, but who said I'm coming at 3%? Now you don't open the floodgates. I don't want 3 now. I want at least 5. Exactly. I took a listed at 10% before.
Really?
Yes, and gave 3% to the buyer side and kept 7. I did.
Do you teach a class on how to win listings? too?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, bro, you need to be.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm doing, I have a virtual one coming up in June. And let me tell you about how to win more listings. You win them with systems. So we're gonna talk about a lot of that. Hey, but when I tell you, like, that's why I was excited. That's why when people complained about the lawsuit, I'm like, I saw the lawsuit came and I was like, this is good.
Me, I've been on the fence about it, really, I kind of don't know how to feel about it, cause I'm still going to my first year, and then, and going into real estate, you know, it's a set fee from the listing agents, what they're
Right.
gonna pay us, but the way I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I mean, if they don't offer no commissions, I'm just not gonna show the house, but the way you talking about it, now we get the opportunity
But see,
to.
that's where
ask
the
for it.
education comes in, because buyer's agents are not used to negotiating their commission.
Exactly.
You've got to, as a buyer's agent, become very skilled in how to negotiate your commission, which is essentially, you gotta become a listing agent, but you gotta do it on the buyer side. That's gonna be the thing, because buyer's agents are not gonna do that, they're just not gonna show it. So I told you my strategy, I'm coming to house 100 days plus on market. I was telling them, I was excited when the lawsuit came. Like, I mean, everybody was all upset, and I'm like, to me, I just see consumers.
You see, yeah, you just.
Like,
look
what
at
I'm
it.
saying is, before I had to take 3, right? I couldn't even come to you and say, can I get 4, right? Now, I got the ability to come at you and say, here's a full price offer, give me 5. And it's legal. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Damn.
And do you want it or don't you? You go explain to your client why you turned down a full price offer. And the lady said, well, what if they only give 6%? Then you know what that happens to you as a listing agent? You give me 5, you take 1. Because you should have been better versed on getting your person to sign. Because here's the thing, I'm not letting my clients go put a listing out there with no money. Because then that's leaving the negotiations up to them. I'd rather put a number on it up front and be done with it. At least we know from this number, you're comfortable with it and we're done with it.
Even
Wow.
if it's like 2.
Yeah, even if it's like 2.5, but but nobody's doing anything for free. That's just the reality. Nobody is selling the house for free.
So wait, you're talking, you would take 5 and give 1, and you think the house will still sell, only offering 1%?
What I'm saying is if you have a listing that's been on the market for 100 days, and I show your listing and I get, mind you, because July, it changes, no buyer agent commission. So if you don't have a buyer's agent commission, we have an addendum on our buyer's broker agreement saying that you give me permission to negotiate my commission with the seller. I'm gonna give you a full price offer, and in that offer, I'm going to say the commission is 5%.
From the seller?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
and if you want to take my offer, here it is.
Wow.
If you don't want to take my offer, I'll go find another house.
What do you?
What I'm saying is, that ain't gonna turn out well.
What do you put on the part though where, it's for the buyer, for the CPA, the top part, for the commission? I guess.
I put paid by seller.
So you don't put a percentage?
I would never charge it. For me, I can't speak for anybody else. If
Well,
I
no,
ever
they
sold a
said
house
we
and there
have
was
to
no
put it.
commission,
They
I'm not gonna take it from
They
you.
said we can't take more than what we put for the buyer. Like the lawsuit says that we can't negotiate a higher commission other than what's in that blank.
No, for ours, we put paid for by the buyer. Our addendum says all
You mean seller?
paid for by the seller.
So you can say that?
Ooh,
So the seller's offering 2%. They're expecting us to get the rest of it from the buyer, but you're saying, no,
I never did that.
No, I never did
Yeah,
it, but they
my
say you
buyer
have to
broker
fill it out
agreements,
that way.
I always put commission paid for by seller. I never put it, I wouldn't charge them. I wouldn't charge a buyer. Only time I would charge a buyer is if the lending industry changed and they could write it in there like loans. Buyers don't have enough money to pay.
Right.
Like,
for real.
my brother's buying a house
Right
and
there,
he
right?
could barely afford to put it down. I'm paying a damn down payment. How he gonna pay me anything?
Right there, right? You put
Yes,
it there?
that's what they
Okay,
put.
the special clauses, that's what you
Yep,
put.
so they made us put a clause in our buyer broker agreement that we're gonna negotiate our contract with the seller,
Who's they?
our brokerage. Mhm. So now, part of our compliance is we have to have the signed EDBA with that clause in it.
I like it.
So you
I like it
to your
too.
buyers at consultation?
We have to.
That's the
We
law.
don't have a choice. So it's part of our compliance.
So that they will understand, just in case I will show this house, even if they say no,
Yeah, I'm always
for
gonna show.
commission,
Yeah, if a
but we
client.
still gonna show it still,
I'm
but
always
just
gonna
know
show
that
it.
upfront that I am gonna negotiate my commission
Yeah.
with the seller's agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hold on, I'll pull it up.
Hey, what's up? About this? She came
Wait,
up
I don't
with-
have it, hold on. Let me see. And the reason, that's why I said the lawsuit is gonna be more, I mean, it's gonna be good and not good, right? Because what happens is you're opening up the doors for people to negotiate as they wish.
Right.
That could get really ugly because everybody doesn't have integrity. It could get really ugly. But you open the door up. And if you open the door up, I'm gonna walk through it. I'm not doing anything that you didn't, this is what you said you wanted.
Because I agree with what you just said, because I don't wanna make my first timers or people I know,
I
like,
don't do it.
you know what I'm saying, pay for my commission, at least 2 to 3%. It's like,
They don't
it
even
depends
know.
on the person,
Most
right? It could be
people
like
wouldn't
10
do-
grand.
And then the sad thing that I think we're gonna see, so I have a state of the market event. This is the one I invited you to. It was so, you gotta come to the next one. It was so good that when we have the next one, I'm gonna get him with a learning specialist. It was so good that people left there, they had headaches. They were like, it's just too much information. Like it was just kind of like too much to grasp almost, but he was really breaking down how now that the real estate commission is pretty much, they're gonna start to decouple the MLS like from the GTAR. People are gonna start like leaving GTAR, like cause there's no reason for me to be associated with you now. He said that if the associations don't actually become places that teach people how to run a business, like how to actually make money. He's like, who cares about professional ethics and standards? Like merge that in, but otherwise you're no value to me. Why am I paying you? Like before we were paying them to manage and regulate commissions and things, they're no longer doing that. So why do I need you involved in my business? The other thing is, he talked about how Zillow started a mortgage company, which I didn't know, and a title company. So when we look at Zillow, he broke all of this down, like from the Federal Reserve, how their user subscribers like went up to like 339 million users per month versus pre-pandemic where they were about 70 million to 339. He said that he believes that Zillow is going to replace the MLS because if the MLS, if I can list my house somewhere and get exposure, Zillow's beating the MLS out anyway. I have clients and I tell them, please go to the MLS portal. It has the most up-to-date information on real estate. Guess what they do? Yeah, I'm looking for a house. Guess where I'm at? Zillow. And here's the thing, when the MLS doesn't have any commission attached to it, and I'm paying $500 for a year, and Zillow is saying we could put all your listing and push them out to 339 million people, and I'll only charge you $25 a month. You think brokerages that are struggling are not gonna pull MLS and go to Zillow?
So this
Like-
is do you think Zillow's behind that?
Oh, what? Okay, so the guy that started Zillow, he's a trillionaire, crazy guy, creates all these monster businesses. So he's retired, he doesn't need to work. He just came back in as the CEO of Zillow. Right, and when you look at the things that they're doing, they have mortgage officers now. If you have a open house on a Zillow listing, they have a mortgage officer there with you. They have so many mortgage officers, it's insane. Everywhere the agent is, the mortgage person is. Right, because remember, that's why I have a mortgage company. Remember I told you, they don't just want the money in real estate is great. However, there's title money, there's mortgage money, there's moving money, there's a whole bunch of other ways checks get written in real estate, not just through the commission. So when you start to look at how business is going to transpire going forward, and we're not in a space where we're staying on top of the market trends and what the industry is doing overall, we're going to just always be behind the 8 ball. Wayne Gretzky said, I'm not the greatest because I skate to where the puck is. I skate to where it's going to be. You have to be able to be in enough rooms with enough data to figure out where the real estate market is going. That's why when I started marketing more to agents because I know that agents are going to struggle in this next level. And if somebody has a problem, that means there's opportunity for somebody to be a solution. So when I said I was doing state of the market, I really didn't want to do it so quickly. I really would have rather did a second quarter. Only reason I made it happen first quarter is because if you want to do something quarterly, you can't miss the first quarter. So I had to make it happen, but it really is to get people to look at the real estate industry different. Another thing that he talked about that day that I thought was so profound, he was like, we don't have a rate problem. We don't have a mortgage problem. We have an inventory problem. and he broke down the number of houses built every year. He said, you gotta remember, and I thought about this, he said, do you see all these apartment complexes coming up? Why do you think they're coming up? There's not enough houses for people to buy because we lost 2 years of building just with COVID. So figure out all that inventory that didn't happen. Then you got people that got houses that are in 3% interest rate, they not selling them houses. So their houses are not coming coming onto the market for inventory. But then you got 1,000 people a day moving to Florida. Where they moving to? Where they moving to? These high-rise apartment buildings. So even though it's a short, it'll probably, he went through like all this, that it'll probably be happening for the next 7 to 10 years. But if you build a cash positive apartment building and for 7 years you just collect interest, when the 7 years is over, you sell it and you're done, you're already millionaire, billionaire. I'm like, listen, you don't see these apartment complexes are coming up faster than houses. Like we live in Wesley Chapel. I literally seen 5 come up. Each of them has 1,600 units. I'm like, what in the world? But what I'm saying is, what 1,600 units? We can't even get houses built that fast.
And they going up the analytics.
And
The
they-
reason why they building it,
period.
because something's telling them.
Because 1,000 people a day are moving here. And here's the thing, if you
You gotta
notice
have
even the houses that are on the market, they're not nice. Like the inventory has gone down. Like I'm looking for a house. I cannot find anything, nothing. Like the kitchens are not redone, the bathrooms are old, the everything sucks in these houses right now. And they're expensive. So what happens is people are just gonna go, I'll go into an apartment for a year. And then that's gonna end up, they're gonna get to Tampa, start spending money, be credit challenged and have to stay in that apartment, not be able to move till they get their credit back together again, 3 years, their rent gonna go up. Whole cycle. It's a whole cycle.
Thank you.
It's a whole
Sarah,
cycle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, I'll come to the next one.
Oh, yeah, but it's a whole cycle. So when you start looking at, this is why you have to know the back of the industry. And this is why, believe it or not, this is why I got into attraction marketing. The harder it becomes for people to get houses, the more reluctant they are going to be to reach out to realtors. Because they're gonna be embarrassed. I'm in this again. I should have been, you have to connect with them organically and intimately. You're not gonna be able to just cold call them and get them to speak to you. It's gonna be a warm kind of build up, like, let me get to know you, let me get comfortable. And then there's gonna be something you say one day to get them to pick up the phone, click, or do something. And that's why I said, we can't wait till things happen, right? We gotta start things before. So remember I told you I sell digital products. Why do you think I'm selling digital products? Because if real estate shut down, I got a whole database, I can sell digital products. I have bills. I cannot, I can't participate in a recession. I'm sorry. I got 5 kids. What I'm saying is I can't. How can I? I can't. I don't have a choice. Them 5, listen, we got 2 in college. 2 in college, and they don't have student loans. Okay, all right. What's her name? You look so pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But thank you so much. I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
Get some ideas out of that one.
Can you send me this recording?
I know, I bet.
Can you send me this
Can
recording?
you turn it off for me and make sure it stops? Yes, I'll send it.
Oh,
y'all recorded.
so she said, so I can come back and teach how to win a listing, so just let me know when. You know, I'm going out of town for a month,
When are you leaving, June 15th?
June 20th to July 15th.
Okay.
Oh,
All right,
month.
I'll call you now.
I'm going to London, Bali,
Nice.
Singapore, Turkey, and Greece.
Oh, wow, good to see you.
Oh, hey, girl.
I'm sorry I missed it.
What
I
word?
had some showings out in your neck of the woods.
Oh, good,
I
listen.
was in Port New Richie.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm in New Tampa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so.
They have the, BBA or you?